All right. Fire them up! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Genre of Your Life, a show all about movies, TV, and the genres that define us. This is episode number 48. I am one of your hosts. With me, as always, are my amazing co-hosts, two of my best friends, and the original trio from ASU is back, everybody. First off, we have the one, the only, the wonderful, it's Mr. Nick Johnson. How's it going, Nick?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. The OG trio from back in the day, ASU Tower days, man. The boys are back, man. It's gonna be a good ass episode. I feel it. I feel it in my
Hell
groins.
yeah.
And last but not least, straight outta LA himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the one of the founding fathers of the podcast. It is the one, the only, the wonderful. It is Mr. Moses Lai. How's it going, Moses? Welcome back, my friend.
Hey, it's good to be back. I'm glad to be here. I know it's been a while. And yeah, I'm happy to be part of the show, on the show. And I'm happy to talk about movies and everything that has to do with, this entertainment that we, love. So,
This is a little world of entertainment that we subscribe to. I hear that, but we missed you, man. We're glad to have you back, man. I know the fans were asking me like, "Where Moses at?" I'm like, "He's coming, guys. He's coming, man. It's kind of like he's the myth that he is, man. He appears when he wants to, man. kind of like Candyman. You should say that he'll show up."
Oh, that's dope. That's facts. That's facts.
He's back. But no, missed you, boys, man. Glad to be back with y'all, and of course, thank you all you guys for joining this week. Again, happy May to you all. We have really a jam-packed episode today. And it is officially summer movie preview season. We are in full effect. We have a lot to cover this summer: movies, TV, reviews, news, updates. So thank you all for joining us. If you're new to the show, welcome to the podcast. We're glad you're here as well. As always, guys, you can find the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, or your favorite podcast platform of choice. We also have a full audio page on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Midway Avenue Productions. Whether on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube Music, subscribe, rate the show, please. We want to hear from you all. Your feedback means the world to us, both positive, negative, neutral. We want to hear from you. Your feedback means the world to us. We have gotten some of the best responses from you all, whether from Apple, whether it's on YouTube, or even Spotify. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for kind of like following us. We're just getting started. Like I said, we have a huge summer plan for you all. A lot of more content, a lot of more episodes on the pipeline. But seriously, all your feedback, your nice words, nice comments really mean the world to us. We see them. Even though Apple got rid of our 160 reviews, or counting actually, that they kind of took away from us. But hey, you know what?
Counting?
I think it was a little bit more, because I've heard some things that hey, I reviewed your show. What's up with that? And I was like, bro, you gotta ask Apple. Apple's kind of cock blocking us right now, unfortunately.
That's wild. That's crazy, man. Oh my gosh.
And you know what? I'm not getting it. Listen, we have a platform. I'm not dropping no Drake, Kendrick Lamar beef kind of diss track, but I'll say there's some companies that don't want to see us win. They don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you succeed. But you know what? I say, watch us. We're coming better than ever. And I'll say is this: we'll see you, as The Rock says in Fast 5. What does he say, Nick?
I'll see you soon.
My man. And then he pissed in the bottle of us.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
allegedly.
Allegedly. We have not confirmed or denied that yet. We're just making jokes. But
guys, I still want a job.
I know. Again, I've heard some of my favorite YouTubers have gone in on him when I was like, guys, I'd be careful if you haven't confirmed the facts yet. We can make jokes about it here and there, but we cannot confirm deny this happening yet. So I'd be careful. Getting that a slight joke at that. I'm obviously kidding, but again, we are so glad to have you guys on the show. Again, like I said, it's be fun summer for review, content, episodes, stuff like that. So have your notifications ready, put your alerts on for the show. And as always, guys, thank you so much for the ongoing support. It truly means the world to us all here at the podcast. So thank you. All righty, boys. So we have Moses for an hour before he has to hop off. So let's get into it right away, guys. So Obviously last week we didn't have a show, and the big news was that Deadpool Wolverine trailer dropped. We talked about the first trailer like a couple months ago, like a little bit of a teaser or whatever. The official trailer has dropped. It generated so much views. People are getting so hyped for this. The MCU is back apparently, or so we think or hope. Nick, trailer came out last week showing a lot more Wolverine, a lot of foul language, a lot of blood, a lot of violence. We saw I think Sandra Nova, so a lot of kind of Fox references. Everyone seems to be hyped for this movie. Everyone was kind of worried about will they kind of water down Deadpool or Wolverine, but from this trailer, F-bombs galore, blood galore, stabbings galore. This was a pretty raunchy trailer. What did you think about the new Deadpool and Wolverine trailer?
I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I feel like this should have been the first trailer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like the first trailer, it didn't really do it for me. And it didn't really have Wolverine in it, but it was, Deadpool and Wolverine in it. So it felt like it was lacking in that sense. You know what I mean? And this one, it was literally just Deadpool and Wolverine. So this would have been an amazing first trailer, in my opinion. But it was cool. Like I liked it a lot. It's fun to see Hugh Jackman back. I'm wondering if this is going to be like his last hurrah as the character, and it would be interesting because it's like he gets to kind of do it twice. Like he did a more like emotional, heartfelt one in Logan, and like that was a good ending for the character. And then like if this one would be like a it's just like a fully live action comic book version. You know what I mean? Because he's got the yellow and the blue costume on, so it's like he gets to like do that for the last time, and that was like a more like fun way to end it. So, but I liked it though. I'm wondering like they kept mentioning like this Wolverine failed his world. Like I'm wondering how did he fail his world?
Yeah.
And there have been theories, excuse me, that like in his universe, like basically the Old Man Logan origin happened where Mysterio tricked him into like killing the X-Men or something, and like that's why no one really fucks with him on that world. And it's like, dang, that would be kind of dope. That'd be kind of dope. But no, I like it. The overall like fun trailer. I feel like it should have been the first one. Cause like after watching it too, it just kind of felt like it's just more of what I already knew. Cause how crazy would it have been if like the first trailer, like imagine if like all we knew was that they're making a third Deadpool movie, and maybe it's in like the MCU or something like that. Like there's like rumors, and there's like all those set photos that leaked. Imagine if like none of those set photos leaked, and all we knew was that it's just the third Deadpool movie, and then the first trailer is the trailer that had both him and Wolverine in it, and then it's like that's when it's revealed like the actual title is like Deadpool and Wolverine. Like I feel like that would have been really, really cool, really creative.
That would have like broke the internet.
What's up?
That probably would have broke the internet. That probably would have been like, oh my
god. That would have been that would have been insane if like there was absolutely no hint of Wolverine, let alone Hugh Jackman Wolverine coming back. Yeah. And the way everyone finds out is the first trailer. Like that would be crazy.
That would have been that would have been
especially how they're doing it.
Talk about marketing. That would have been like, whoa. Like talk about like, because again, I mean, we all knew. I mean, for No Way Home, we all knew Toby and Andrew were gonna be in it because like the leaked stuff too, and they were like, I don't know, and it was like we kind of assumed that even though they weren't the original.
Yeah, they got to stop leaking stuff. They got to like keep their shit tight.
You would think.
I'm wondering if they're doing it on purpose because you notice like with Endgame, literally no one talked about it until everyone had seen it. But that's the only MCU movie that they've kind of done that with. So I'm wondering if like sometimes the MCU was like letting these photos leak out to also just generate hype from it,
Right. I mean, it's to them, it's free marketing to a degree. Like, oh yeah, someone leaked this stuff. Like, who can it be? It's probably some like an inside job. Like, it was some intern. Like Josh the intern was like, I got you guys. Boom. And you either fire the guy or be like, you know what, genius, and and I think to your point too. I think, when we saw Logan back in almost 7 years ago, which is crazy. I think we all said too was that like even though like that was the movie we wanted because it was like just the violence, it was really gritty, it was very just like dark, it was noir at times, it was very kind of just like a Western thriller. We were like, oh, imagine like seeing Hugh Jackman like that, but in his prime, like Wolverine in his prime, just like murking dudes. Because we saw a tease of that in the Wolverine where he goes to Japan. But I think this is the one that we all been waiting for in terms of like, hey, it's gonna be violent as hell. You got Hugh and Ryan officially together, not that boo boo ass laser beam Deadpool from boo boo ass Origins, X-Men Origins.
Yeah, that shit was
Wolverine.
crazy, man. Oh my gosh.
Ryan has the best joke. I think he was on like a podcast for like Sirius XM. He was at like, cause during the writer strike, it was like the script to him was like, Wade Wilson shows up, talks really fast, and so he had to improvise like all his dialogue. And so, like, everything you hear from X-Men Origins Wolverine was because of the writer strike of 07, 08, whatever. And so he had to, like, do all his dialogue. And he said that he went to, like, a test screening of it because, at the end, again, spoilers from Deadpool for Wolverine from, like, 15 years ago. Piece of shit movie anyway. That, like, that's not him at the end. The person that, like, the mouth closed Deadpool with the swords out of his arms, that isn't him. That's a whole different person.
I heard it was Scott Adkins, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Interesting. Really?
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
And he was saying that, so he had no idea kind of like really what happens, and so he was like, and then the guy in the studio was telling him like, look, laser out of his eyes, like it's all these kind of powers, and I think Ryan says like, yeah, it would be cool if you smoked a bunch of 8-ball cocaine before this. And I started laughing. I was like, that's a Ryan Reynolds thing to say. Where I was like, yeah, I was like, what drug were they on? Like, it's what Deadpool have laser out of his eyes and swords out of his arms, have his mouth shut. And
yeah, because it sounds like some like Deadpool fever dream.
Right. And so basically, the studio told him at the time, like, if you don't do this, kiss Deadpool goodbye. We'll find someone else. So like he had to do it to like kind of maintain like the like attachment to Deadpool. Obviously, the footage leaked years ago, a few years later. Then obviously, kind of just like blew up. Obviously, it's like, okay, this is Deadpool we want to see. And because the reaction was so positive, they made the movie obviously for like a small budget. But yeah, it's weird how that kind of just like came to fruition. But again, back to your point though, it's like this is the one that we've been waiting for in terms of like the Wolverine Deadpool friendship, kind of like rivalry, kind of like frenemies to a degree. So from what I've seen, I agree with you. I think this trailer would have been like kind of the first, like out of the ballpark. Here it is. But to be fair too, they wrapped production on this like a week or two before the first trailer came out too. So I guess like maybe the footage wasn't like ready yet. But again, that's kind of my theory. But again, I think after this trailer, I'm good. I don't want to see no more. I'm getting off TikTok, getting off Twitter or Instagram because I feel like people are like, oh my gosh, look at all this stuff. It's gonna be crazy. I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Just
About to go off the grid, huh?
Off the grid, bro. I'm going back to faxes. I'm going back to the pen and feather writing, bro. Getting some letters. Podcast tonight, boys. I'll take my little
just all analog stuff.
Analog, bro. A little Morse code up. Beep, 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 beep. I'm doing that from now on, bro. Because fuck that. But Moses, my friend, you seen the trailer. What's your overall thoughts about the trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah, no, I thought. So of course I watched the first trailer too as well and everything like that. And when I first saw the first trailer, I was like, what Nick was saying. I wasn't, like I've been excited. I've always been excited, but I wasn't, like damn, I can't wait.
Right.
Because that trailer didn't exactly give any hype.
Yeah.
I was fine with that length of a trailer, but I just wasn't fine with how, just with the idea of Deadpool and Wolverine. I just expected a little bit more, something else, a little bit different. Right. I don't know. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting like another Deadpool movie or whatever it is, but I was literally just expecting like a new movie in general, but yeah, the trailer number 2 though, it definitely got me excited, definitely got me pumped and everything. And yeah, I'm excited for it, but I'm not hyped for it right now. For some reason, but I know I will be once we get closer to that day. I'm currently watching the X-Men in '97 right now and seeing Wolverine in that. It's definitely getting me excited. As we get closer to that movie. As we get closer to the release of Deadpool and Wolverine. So and to folks out there that haven't seen, X-Men '97, go check it out. It's a really, really dope show on Disney Plus, and it really does the X-Men justice in terms of character, and everything. So go check it out. But going back to the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, I definitely enjoyed it. I can't wait. Not psyched yet, but I can't wait to see if they're gonna drop a third trailer. If I'm not gonna watch it, if they are, that's cool, but I definitely won't watch it. But yeah, I'm excited to see because I know they're hiding a lot of things in that movie. I know they're hiding a lot. I know there's a few old, like X2 members that are in that.
Yeah.
That are in that I saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
So there's a few other things too as well, but I'm excited to see. What they what they got cooking. So yeah.
I got faith in a lot. I got faith in Ryan, obviously, and I have faith in Sean Levy because I feel like they wouldn't come back for some like half-ass thing. And obviously, the strikes were a big impact on the movie themselves. And I feel like they're doing reshoots right now, but I think it's for the better reasons for like some ADR because I know a lot of like the funny jokes in the first two Deadpool were like when Ryan had his mask on, so like that was kind of like ADR or just like voiceover. So I think it's probably what they're doing right now. But yeah, I got faith. I got faith in Ryan. I got faith because Ryan's writing it with his co-writers from the first two. You got Sean Levy on board who knows Hugh and knows Ryan pretty damn well. So I got faith for sure. I'll ask you guys this. I'll start with you, Nick. What do you think opening weekend, over or under $150 million?
Well, I want to ask that question too as well, but I'll let Nick go. I want to answer that question. Sorry.
I'm gonna say over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Moses?
I'm feeling it.
Over 150 or?
Yes, sir. Over 150.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely gonna at least, at least like around 180.
Really? Ooh, we're going high.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be around like 180 and everything. Yeah, it's yeah. If this film does a really good job, it's going to promise a lot of things for the next coming Marvel movies and everything, I'm just excited for that. Because I really want people to go back to the theaters.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least over 180. I think over 180. I think they're definitely going to get that much because it's Deadpool and Wolverine, and just a bunch of nerds like me going to the theater and seeing some superheroes, just kick ass. So yeah, man, yeah, definitely about that, and it's definitely gonna hit over $1 billion.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
You're doubling down, my friend. Over $1 billion. Interesting. Ooh.
No, I mean, of course, you know what I mean. This film is probably it's mainly for entertainment. The director literally just said for entertainment. You don't have to go back and watch and do research of any other film, which is I get it. It's clear, it's understandable to why he made that point to get more people in the theater, but it's definitely a movie that people are gonna go back and watch. That people are gonna and their kids to go watch, not once, not twice, not 3 times. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna be all the shit. But yeah, man, yeah.
Interesting. What do you have a number in mind, Nick? Like with opening weekend number? Like he said 180. What do you have a number in mind? Like what it might hit opening weekend?
You know what? I'm gonna take your 180 and I'm gonna say 195.
Ooh, 195.
All right. Yeah.
And wow, do you think also hit $1 billion? Think it's gonna hit it as well?
$2 billion. I'm playing.
Okay.
I'm playing.
Going a little too far, but no. I think
No, like I like to Moses's point, like this is gonna be like the movie where it's like I could see someone buying like 10 tickets for it for the one day and just staying in the theater all day. You know what I'm saying? Like with Endgame, this YouTuber I watched, he saw the movie 103 times in theaters. Like I could totally see someone doing that for Deadpool part 3, for Deadpool Wolverine, excuse me. Especially since there's hints that it might lead into Secret Wars.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, people are going to be just obsessing over this movie and analyzing it and breaking it down, man. So yeah.
I mean, also too, I feel like July, I think, except for I'm trying to think, maybe Despicable Me 4. I think the really big movie July is just Deadpool and Wolverine, which is kind of like odd for like a July movie summer release, but I feel like people kind of either clear the way to be like, let's not avoid competition with that. Um, I think it's gonna hit. I would say I'm kind of like in between you guys, or kind of close to. I think maybe like 170, 175 maybe, but you know, I think if word of mouth is really good, people have that hunger for like, hey, it's summer blockbuster. We're kind of craving a good MCU movie. It's been a minute since like Guardians 3, I would say. So it's kind of like people are, that's definitely like, to your point, Moses, like, back to the theater. Also, you want to have like a good, you know, MCU film to kind of rave about. So I think you guys are kind of like in the right ballpark of like 180, 195. I feel like if word of mouth is so strong too, it might be like, and the reviews are good. I think, and to your point too, Moses, like those surprises too. Like we don't even know who might be in it. Some kind of X-Men familiar faces from like the Fox franchise. So I could definitely see your prediction of that. And I think, you know, for also the runtime is a big play in it too. But I think Joker is still the only rated R film to ever hit $1 billion. However, the first Deadpool still holds the record for biggest opening weekend for a rated R movie. It was like 135 or 150 for like I think it was like President's Day or whatever that weekend came out. So the first one still was like the king of like opening weekend for rated R movie, but for a bill, Joker still has the only title with that. So yeah, you know, I can definitely see it hitting a bill if word of mouth is really strong. But I think for sure it's going to be a huge opening weekend because all the hype around it. People love Hugh Jackman. People love Ryan. All the surprises too. So again, this is the first movie within the MCU for Deadpool too. So all that kind of like curiosity of like what could happen. It's funny. To your 2.2, Moses, I feel like, I think, was it Infinity War for you or Endgame, where like you weren't feeling the hype until like day of. You're like, now I feel the hype. I think it was like Infinity War. I would say. I think we're with the IMAX, and you were like, now I feel the hype.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It just takes me a bit. It just takes me a bit to, you know, catch up with everybody else and everything.
I hear you.
You know, so because it's like I try not to, you know, overly get too excited sometimes because of the idea of like me going in and seeing it not rising up to the potential that I wanted it to be. You know, that my thoughts wanted it to be and everything. So I'm just like, okay, I see what I see. It's there, but you know, yeah. So I think, you know, with Deadpool and Wolverine, you know, too as well. I think because I don't know how much Guardians 3 made opening weekend. How much?
100 and like 12, I want to say.
112. Okay.
It wasn't that big. They had the projections like way higher than that. I want to say it was like 110s. I want to say put right here. 118 mil.
Yeah, 118 mil. Yeah, it's definitely gonna, you know, hit like it's definitely gonna hit, you know, Black Panther, you know, like in terms of opening weekend, Black Panther 2 number, and then of course when it comes down to worldwide, it's definitely gonna, you know, trickle around, you know, the Black Panther 1, you know, number, which is like I think 1.3 1.3 mil the bill. So and yeah, man, you know, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how like just the reactions and reviews obviously for it all, and then see how it does. So we will keep everyone posted and keep subscribing to the show. We're gonna have a fun, you know, Deadpool conversation over the summer when it comes out. So stay tuned for that. So
Yes,
speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, and really to our next topic is, we're officially now as of today with the Fall Guy, we're officially into summer movie season, which is one of the best seasons of movies like ever. You got like the blockbusters, the family movies, you got the small movies here and there, a lot of sequels and franchises and original stuff. So with the Fall Guy officially beginning our summer movie season, I'm gonna go before we leave Moses too, so I can get a couple more minutes with you. Let's go over what 2024 has in store for us. Remember last summer we had a lot of big movies and a lot of them tanked, and a lot of them were like The Flash didn't run fast enough. Indiana Jones lost his whip. Like, it was a summer of like, what the hell happened? The biggest two last year, obviously, just Barbie and Oppenheimer with Barbenheimer. So I have a feeling that summer might be a slight better. I'm hoping for the best. So the Fall Guy coming out this weekend. So we have you seen the Fall Guy yet, Moses?
No. No. I'm gonna go see it. Actually, later tonight. Around 10 or something. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm about to see it tomorrow.
See it again? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, little date night with the missus. You heard me?
Oh, she's gonna like it. I think she's gonna like it. Okay, so when you're back on, Moses, we'll probably do like a spoiler conversation with that when you're back on. So we have a lot to talk about that movie. But okay, The Fall Guy. So me and Nick have seen that. Me and Nick with the screening on Tuesday for that. You're gonna see it tonight. Okay, we'll get back to that. So next week we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We're going to the screening of that on Wednesday. Nick and myself. Moses, what's your anticipation levels for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah. So I mean, with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I wasn't sort of like I didn't watch the previous ones, like as much as I wish I did.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all on me.
Wait. You didn't watch any of the past 3 ones?
No. I did. I watched I watched the very first one that came out with what's his name?
With James Franco.
Yeah, with James Franco. I had seen that one. But I didn't see the 2 that came out after.
Moses.
Yeah.
That's okay though, man. That's okay.
Yeah, and my apologies, and
you still got time. Man.
I still got time.
I
definitely still got time. So what I'm gonna do is do some research before seeing this one, and everything. And I'm excited. I seen the trailer in theaters, and man, it looks really dope.
Was feeling it.
Amazing. The visuals are really great. And I heard it's, I think kind of the same team that previously made the other ones.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what they have, what they got in store. Because it's all about, apes now, and it's all about them basically taking control and taking over, and basically developing, that the world that they basically conquered, I'm excited to see it. I think it's gonna do well. I don't think it's gonna, do anything, crazy in terms of comparison, like Godzilla versus X. It might do those numbers in terms of box office or anything like that. But I'm excited to see it though. I'm excited to see overall. So I'm excited.
All right, Nick, my friend, we're seeing it on Wednesday. And we kind of spoke about this past weekend when we were at your place. Like, what's your kind of like anticipation levels for this movie overall?
Like, I'm looking forward to it. It looks like a solid movie, but I got to admit, when I first saw the trailer, it seemed a little bit unnecessary because I thought that the whole story got wrapped up with War for the Planet of the Apes. Mm-hmm. I'm going into it with the notion, like, I think I'm going to enjoy it, and it looks like a fun movie, but also at the same time, kind of like, did y'all really like need to make this movie? Like, it feels like the 5th Jason Bourne movie where Matt Damon came back, and like, where you're watching this like, this was cool and everything, but
what's the point?
Like, what was the point?
Yeah,
you know,
cash
like
grab.
his story is resolved. Like this, this is an interesting epilogue, I guess. Like that's kind of how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
Oh
is
yeah.
just something that he kind of went through, like, you know, after the main story ended. You know what I mean? Like, but it was just kind of like that movie just it just felt kind of pointless. Like I couldn't tell you shit that happened in it. You know, so and I'm not necessarily saying that's what it's gonna be for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because even the title is
That's the
fucking dope.
tagline. What happened?
What is it?
Is this for real? Question mark. Kingdom of the
Yeah,
Planet of the Apes.
like it's just kind of like okay, but I mean it looks like a dope movie. It looks fun, but it even kind of looks like they're gonna start like reversing the story in a way, because like in the trailer the main character, like I guess like humans intelligence had just declined throughout the years, and she's more like the most intelligent human or something like that. That's the vibe I was getting. I don't
Yeah, same
remember
here.
because I haven't seen it in a while, but is that what happened?
I was the same way. I was like, I think it's what I was getting too. So I'm with you
Okay.
on that.
Yeah, because now it kind of seems like it's just the whole like dominant species is just about to switch over again, and
Yeah.
it just kind of seems like a cycle. So you know that's an interesting direction to take it. But yeah, like it looks fun. It looks cool. Like I think it's gonna be a good movie, but also it kind of like Transformers 4.
Oh fuck.
You know what I mean? Like how like they had the first Transformers trilogy, and it's like wow, yeah, they wrapped up the whole story. They told the whole story, and then Transformers 4 came out. It's like, yeah, this was cool, I guess, but did you really need to make this one? It just seems like you're kind of like looking for whatever reason to try to bring these characters back.
I'm with you 100% because remember this is the first one that Disney's doing since they bought Fox, and it's just like
Oh
because
shit.
the last one was made, it was before the merger, before the acquisition. So like, and also
Mhm.
too, to Moses' point too, look at the box office. The box office, the first one did pretty damn well for what it was, and the second one, Dawn, just made a shitload of money. They were like, "Yo, what is this?" And to your
Mhm.
point too, Nick, like everyone loved the finale. It's a really underrated trilogy, but the box office became a bit of a decline. I think the second one made like almost like 800 mil, and the second one, the third one made like 400 mil. So definitely a decline,
Mhm.
unfortunately, in terms of just like interest. And so to both of your point, I feel like maybe there could be a not a decline in this one, but you never know. But to your point too, Nick, is like I think a lot of people are gonna be like Indiana Jones 5 too. It's like, is this necessary? Like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
And to
Yeah, I was like,
Moses,
y'all really, really did not need to make this movie, especially if y'all are gonna end it like that. Oh
right?
hell no.
No, it's a reach. You're like, wait a second, like, huh?
Yeah.
And I thought that with the last Ghostbusters. Personally, I was like, why was this made again? And like, there's no point. Like, give me a reason to come back to watch this. And even to Moses' point, to the same team, yeah, it's same. It's Weta. It's the same, people, whatever. However, what kind of not we're seeing on Wednesday, obviously, but like, I'm definitely kind of bummed that like, obviously Matt Reeves not doing this one because Matt Reeves brought a lot of like personality, a lot of vision to the last two he did. So
Mhm.
it's like, again, West Ball, no offense to him, obviously, he did the Maze Runner movies that are again hit or miss
Hmm.
for the most, but still it's an okay franchise. I think the first one's still the best one personally, but
Mhm.
it's not Matt Reeves of like Matt Reeves kind of had this like really vision. But again, if on Wednesday we see it and West Ball was like, and we see West Ball's vision of like, hey, you know what, this is, I love this franchise, I love apes, I love this kind of like story mythology, then hey man, awesome. So I'm with you on that. Like I'm looking forward to it, but in terms of box office, the Moses point as well, like, will there be a huge number? Probably not. But I do know, I think Disney wants this to be a win. Again, this is the first one they're doing under their banner since they bought Fox. So again, time will tell. I think maybe a decent opening weekend, but I don't think it's gonna be a huge number. Maybe like, okay, again, could be word of mouth too. Like word of mouth is good. Maybe kind of repeat viewings are kind of just like, hey, look, it's a new Apes movie, let's go. Or it could be complete shit. People like, yeah, it's your point, Nick. Like this was not needed. Why'd y'all do this? Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Like, shame on y'all for ruining the legacy of Caesar. Like, like
Mm.
so. Only time will tell. So look out for our review and reaction of that movie next week. So okay, so we had that was on May 10th. Next up, we have a movie that I don't know about this one. I love Krasinski and I like
Mm.
Ryan Reynolds. If I'll start with you, Nick, real quick. Are you excited for this movie? Are you even gonna see it in theaters? Like, what's your thoughts about this movie overall?
Like, not to sound like a negative Nancy, but to your question, am I going to see it in theaters? No.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't look bad. It just kind of looks like a kids movie to me, but
yeah,
albeit a creative one. I will give
right,
you that. It
right,
looks
right,
like a
right.
creative, fun movie, but um, it didn't really grab me like that. Like if I was like chilling with someone or whatever, and like they were like, hey, let's put the movie on or something. Like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go with the flow. Like it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah,
It just like that's kind of like I'd probably just wait for streaming on that one.
yeah, or like a matinee.
Yeah.
Moses, are you excited for this movie at all? If with John Krasinski directing it, great cast, Ryan Reynolds, what's your anticipation levels at for this one?
Um, you know, you know how I'm like sometimes there's movies that are, that are probably good, but not for me.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just being, I think this is for, like this is for kids,
Yeah.
and for them to go watch this movie, and
Yeah, that's not for us no
if
more.
if somebody tells me, if somebody tells me, if my girlfriend is like, hey, let's go watch this movie, I'll go watch it. But other than that, you know, um, just not for me, I guess. But hey, I'm glad that John Krasinski is moving along with that director's chair.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he has coming up a little bit more in the years to come. So I'm glad he's sticking on that chair and he's making and he's directing more projects that he wants.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, I'm kind of with both of you guys on that. Like, I might say like like a matinee, or again use our Regal pass. Well, yeah, Mostly. Yeah, we'll see. If I'm kind of like, yeah, if I'm kind of down bad, or just like, yeah, I'm curious. But like, yeah, I thought it was gonna be something before the trailers came out. I thought it would be kind of something different. It's like, oh, it's gonna be kind of like for sure like full on kids movie, completely more like a PG-13, but it's definitely it's a PG like family friendly movie. So I'll probably go see it if I'm kind of just like curious about it all, or word of mouth is like, hey, you gotta see this movie. It's like it's the next like I don't know E.T. or the next kind of like family movie. They're like, oh, I'm curious about it, but yeah, I'm not really intrigued by it. But to your point, I like everyone involved. A big Krasinski fan too, so good for him for kind of like expanding his vision as a director. So okay, that was if. The week after is a pretty big one. It's been almost 10 years since Fury Road. We have Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Moses, my friend, are you excited for this movie? What's your hype level at for this prequel to Mad Max, Fury Road?
Man, not gonna lie, man. When I first like saw the first trailer when it came out, I wasn't really, I wasn't extremely hyped.
Yeah.
I seen the previous Mad Max, and man, it's a game changer when it comes down to visuals,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And spectacles and everything like that. And when I saw the first trailer for this, I was like, oh, okay, I'll go see it. But when I saw the second trailer, I had to see the second trailer at least like three times
Mm-hmm.
for my anticipation to basically rise up. Because at
Yeah.
first I was like, oh, it's a dope trailer, definitely gonna go see it. Then I realized, man, like the visuals for this one too as well. It looks dope. It's not gonna hit any number that the previous Mad Max did or anything like that. I heard they're already planning on doing another one. Um, but
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that too.
yeah. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what Chris Hemsworth has in store. And stepping away from his store cape and putting on another cape. I think he wears. But but
You're not
uh
wrong.
but now I'm excited to see what Anna Taylor-Joy. Um, and Yeah, I'm excited to see it, man. I'm excited to see it. George Miller, is a very visual director and everything. And he has a good idea usually about what he basically wants when it comes down to films with a has that has very very great spectacle elements. So we'll see. I hope people go and watch it. When it comes down to box office. It's not going to hit anything crazy. It's
Mm-mm.
probably going to hit Godzilla versus Kong numbers, maybe lower. Um,
Yeah.
to be plain honest, but it's going to have to wait and see. So, but I'm definitely going to go check it out on premium platform. When it comes out.
Oh, most definitely. Nick, my
Yeah.
friend, what is your anticipation level for Furiosa, a Mad Max saga?
I'm excited for this movie. I haven't the only Mad Max movie I've seen is just the Tom Hardy one, but
Yeah.
it looks it honestly looks really cool, really fun. Like damn, I don't have like too much to say about it because I don't know a whole lot about these characters, but I'm definitely excited about the movie. Like I would definitely see this one in theaters for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you guys both on this. I remember seeing Mad Max like years ago in like high school when it came out. I remember we went to like a screening of it with like my dad, and we got there pretty late. So we had to sit in the front in 3D, which is like the worst experience. A in the front, and then 3D in the front. It's like not the best,
Mm-mm.
not the best. So I remember I was sitting, I remember watching it. I was like, whoa, like what is this? Because I didn't like I was hearing good things about it before it came out, and I was like, trailers kind of cool, but like watching it, I was just like to your point too, Moses, of like it changed the game of like visuals, action, all this stuff, and it was just like, wow, what is this? This is so unique. And again, it was like a movie that everyone was talking about that year. It was like that was the movie of 2015. It was like that, Straight Outta Compton, and Star Wars 7, and I think Fury 7 was up there in that conversation too. But I remember Mad Max came out. It was just like everyone's like, wait, what the fuck is this? Like, this is something crazy. So I'm looking forward to this one. The trailers haven't sold me just yet, but again, I like Anya Taylor Joy a lot. Like Chris Hemsworth, obviously, to your point, Moses, he's trading capes again. So I'm definitely intrigued by like it's kind of like I want to see the action, the practicality of it all. But my big question too when it comes out is gonna be like, it's been 10 years since Fury Road. Will people still come to this? Like, and will people like, oh yeah, it was 10 years ago. Will it still hold up? And it's gonna be the kind of conversation to your point too. Like, how will it do opening weekend? Because I think Mad Max did like Fury Road did like 40 opening weekend. Well, not terrible for the time, but again, it's been now 10 years. Like that movie's been now introduced to like film classes and film curriculum. So it's just like it was a huge part on filmmaking and movie making as we go. But again, will people still show up for this one? Who knows? But definitely want to see in theaters, and I'm definitely intrigued by just kind of like how they're gonna like do this kind of prequel element to it. Again, I was hearing good things about it from CinemaCon, the footage they saw. So fingers crossed, it's good. All right, so that's May 24th. Let's see on the docket. May 24th, Garfield. No. And then the week after, May 31st, nothing. We have a weekend of nothing. Maybe on streaming. I can't see on IMDb, but nothing major for May 31st. We're going to skip that. June 7th. Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys Ride or Die. Again, Nick, I kind of know where you're at, but you're obviously excited for Bad Boys 4, but like, what's your kind of anticipation levels for this sequel?
Man, I'm hype as fuck for this one, man. I'm super excited, bro. Oh my gosh. I love the Bad Boys movies and like I three was surprisingly good to me. It was a lot better than I thought it was gonna
Yeah,
be, man.
same
So
here.
I'm super excited for part four, man. And I'm wondering, it kind of seems like this is gonna be the last one. I can't imagine that they would do a fifth one.
You never
But
know.
it's like if it is the last one, like I'm wondering, like, man, are we gonna be tearing up or something? Like, but I'm definitely excited for it, man.
Hey man, we're gonna see Bad Boys mixed with Independence Day. That's gonna be the big sequel.
Oh my gosh. That would be insane.
All right, Moses. What's your anticipation levels for the fourth Bad Boys? Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that it's disappointed in is the title is that I feel like this
Right.
should be Bad Boys for Life. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody. Will Smith probably knows it. He's probably like in his boots, like, dang, you know.
Oh, that would have slapped.
you know,
He's like, oh man.
Oh
like this should have
man.
been Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah.
This is very easy, right?
Like
But
Jada, we should have changed the title. Sorry.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
god.
crazy. But anyways, nah, man, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Bad Boys. For and everything. So This I don't think this will. I know to what Nick was saying about it being the last one. I don't think it's going to be the last one.
Hmm.
Um, they might have one more. They might want to.
It's got to be one more max at this point. Like I love these guys
100%.
and I love the franchise, but it's like, hey, come on, man. Like y'all
Yeah,
are kind of
it's going to turn
getting
into
up there in
Fast and
age.
Furious. It's going to turn into Fast and Furious and make 10 more. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm joking. But, imagine, you know what I mean? You got Vanessa Hudgens taking over and everything, but sorry.
Taking over the franchise?
Yeah, as in like if they make more.
Okay, no, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. That would be like a cool like spin-off continuation of it.
Yeah, if they decide to do a
That'd be
spinoff,
dope.
I think that'll be cool. I think a spinoff would be cool for that. But
That'd be
going
dope because
back,
they did have a cool team there. So yeah, I would be down for that.
yeah, 'cause I feel like when it comes down to age and everything like that, you never know, because
Mm.
that dude, Indiana Jones, I'm forgetting his name,
Mhm.
uh,
Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford, he put on the hat again at the age of, you know, 200.
Old.
No, I'm kidding. No, I love Harrison
Is it
Ford. That
is
guy
it
is my guy.
200?
This is only a
Harrison Ford, if
joke.
you're listening, we all love you. We all love you. It's all jokes. It's all love here.
He's definitely not listening, but his agents and managers will probably are. But no, yeah, man. I just think it's time. The fifth one should be the last. If not, then we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for this one that is coming out though, and yeah, man, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see, you know, what they got cooking. So,
What's it's funny. I love that Harrison Ford, that the magician one. He was like, "Get the fuck out my house."
Oh yeah.
When David Blaine, he's smiling because he's so shocked by the trick. He's like, "Yeah, get the fuck out my house." It's like
No,
that's
that
fun.
was crazy.
Um, yeah, yeah, I think the trailers have been definitely like, whenever I see a movie, like the trailers have definitely been like people are laughing and clapping, so like it's definitely cool to see that. I think to both your guys' points too. I think Sony didn't know. I guess when the movie came out, it made so much more money. And to your point too, like no one really knew like it was gonna be that good. Like, oh, it's no Bad Boys for sure, not kind of like a legacy movie, but like how well will it be? And it made a lot of money. So I think
Hmm.
Sony was like, cool, fourth one is definitely on the books, but they were kind of like shocked by their own success. So I think if this one is as good, both quality and box office wise, to Moses' point, definitely see another one. I think Will Smith needs this kind of for it to be a win right now at his post, controversy of the Oscars, because no one really watched that one he did with Antoine Fuqua on Apple TV, even though it was a streaming movie, but like this one has to.
Damn, yeah, I keep forgetting about that one, but it looks good though.
I heard mixed things. People were kind of like it was good, but it's long. But
Hmm.
I've heard like kind of like either kind of you love it or kind of hate it. And you're all know we're all Antoine Fuqua fans here. So I do think if this one does well, definitely book another movie. But again, I think it depends on just the box office and critic response. But I can see either go away. Same thing with Apes. I can see it the same thing. Either everyone's gonna hate it or love it, or word of mouth so good people will see it again, like the Bad Boys Ride or Die. Sorry, Bad Boys for Life. So again, it's kind of these legacy sequels like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes or Bad Boys 4. Just like it's how well the people respond to it and how well like it does with the audience and critics, and it will translate at the box office. But I got faith because again, I like the guys involved, Bilal and Adil, and also we got Martin Lawrence and Will Smith coming back. So I got faith. And again, the trailers had told me day one, so I'm definitely we're gonna be there for sure day one. Moses, do you have one
You
time for
already
one
know.
more, or do you have to go?
I got time for one more.
One more,
Yeah.
okay. So same. Nah, it's M Night Shyamalan's daughter movie. But let's go to the next big one, which is the Bike Rider is more of an indie film. We're probably mostly doing the big ones right now. Ooh, A Quiet Place Day One.
Hmm.
Quiet Place Day One. My friend Moses, where is your anticipation level at for Quiet Place Day One?
A Quiet Place Day One. I saw the trailer, man. I think I was watching, the football. I think I was watching football when that released. Was it during like or 3 days before the Super Bowl?
You're right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd seen it then. Man, like not gonna lie, man. Like I might be. I think I'm excited for this, and I saw Quiet Place Part Two. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, this one looks really really good. Just the idea of it taking place in just in broad daylight, with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? With like everybody being there, and it's like I want to see what happened. I want to see what sort of like unfolds in terms of the story and how everybody sort of like disappears. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because that's how it kind of was with watching the first one, as if like the whole world kind of just disappeared, and and how people just started living like ants, and you wouldn't find any traits of anybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because of the creatures, right? So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for Lupita. I'm excited
Yeah.
for her because it's like,
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
as an actress, of like her stature, right? It's like she should be getting like work after work after work. I'm excited that she's working alongside my man from Stranger Things.
Joseph
Uh,
Quinn.
yeah, Joseph Quentin, and also my boy from the movie that just came
Jimon
out,
Hansu.
Jim Hansen. Yes, yes, yes. I was so
Yes.
close to making fun of that movie that we should not talk about. Um,
which part?
no, 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 no. Anyways,
Wait, wait. No, I'm genuinely lost. What movie are you talking about?
Rebel Moon. I don't know. I'll say it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'll take the
yeah.
fall, Mose. Don't worry. I'll take the fall. I got you. I got you. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
It's like the movie that we should not name. No, but no, no, man. I'm excited to see. I'm excited for him in this movie, and I hope he
Mhm.
does big numbers. I really
Yeah,
hope that movie does big numbers. Because that's good for Lupita. That's good for that franchise. That's good for Jamon, right?
Yep, Jimon Hansu.
Yeah, Jamon Hudson. Yeah, that's good for Jamon Hudson. Um, and yeah, yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see it. It's gonna be dope.
all right, Nick, my friend, we walked by the other day at the screening of like the New York subway banner they had at Harkins.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're beginning to talk about just like who's involved, cast involved. What's your anticipation levels at for Quiet Place Day One?
I'm excited for it. The trailer looks cool. I haven't seen the previous two.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I might be doing kind of like how I might be doing with the Hunger Games, where like I saw the prequel first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just might be watching them in order.
For sure, for sure.
Because yeah, I don't know, because I do want to see them, but I don't know, I never quite find myself in the mood to like really really watch it.
They're heavy. They're
Yeah,
heavy movies for sure. They're intense.
That's crazy.
they
You're making fun of me for not watching. No, I'm kidding.
nah, say it, nah, say it, say it, nah, say
Crazy. Wow.
it. Wait, which
pop,
movie was
pop,
it?
pop.
What are you talking about? Planet of the Apes Part Two. I mean the
Oh no, no, that's whack, Moses. You because you had more time to watch Planet of the Apes, bro.
what you
No,
had enough time to watch the whatchamacallit. You just said
Quiet Places.
yeah,
nah,
quite.
because like I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because see, when did the first Planet of the Apes movie come out? That was what, like 2012,
2011.
2011. Okay, so around that time, it's like situationally, you have all this free time. All you gotta do is like go to school and maybe go to church. So around the time, it's like I just got more time to watch that movie. By the time the Quiet Place movies came out,
Oh,
I'm in college, man. I'm like, I gotta do all these classes, man. I gotta find a job. I just didn't have time. You know what I'm saying? And again, to my earlier point, the Planet of the Apes movies, those have been out longer, which means you have more time to see them, and you didn't for some reason.
Okay, you got me there, bro. You got
the defense rests, Your Honor.
But
this court is adjourned.
No, I just gotta say you'll definitely love the two previous Quiet Place films. So
they do look good. I was just clowning earlier, man. I hope you know that. I wasn't trying to go.
No, hey man,
but no, like they look good though. They look good.
No, it's all love, man. It's all love. Yeah. It's always all love.
Facts, bro.
Y'all both have homework to do.
No, that's true. That's true.
You both have homework to do this summer.
You're right on that because I stayed just scrolling past it on Paramount Plus, bro.
They're good. I like two more.
Every time I see it, I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna watch it. One of these days I'm probably gonna watch it.
That's funny. But
or pull Hunger Games and just we'll watch the prequel in theaters and then we can go from part 1 and part 2 after that.
Yeah, I could watch them in like timeline chronological order. That would be interesting.
Oh yeah, they're good. They're good movies. Moses, you gotta hop off.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say before I leave, I love your input on A Quiet Place.
Yeah, it's funny. He's not here to defend himself, but I'm gonna pull him out anyway. Joel spoiled the first one for me. He goes, I can't believe so died. I was like, bro, like seriously, like. I was like, he goes, oh yeah, bro, like, what happened? I was like, you spoiled it for me, bro. He goes, no, I didn't. And I was like, bro, read your own text, you dummy. Again, I remember like seeing it. I think I saw it like after it came out when we were in college, and I was just like, oh yeah, like this was good, but a little overhyped for me. Also, when there's certain big like twist happened, I was like, thanks a lot, Joel. So that happened. But I remember part 2. I remember seeing part 2 when it when COVID was getting better. It was like people getting vaccinated, whatever. It was my first like big movie back. I remember seeing it with our buddy Hamza, and I was like, oh, because I think just being in a theater filled with like people and just like being kind of just like scared together and that kind of that theater experience, like it was like our first big movie back. Obviously, like I like 2 a lot more just because of like the pace of it all, but also I like just like how like we saw Cillian Murphy, John Hansu, just like I like the kind of just like that just like story a lot because it kind of showed just like a different of like the other survivors a lot. It was very intense. So I think part 2 was better because of just like how intense it is and also how like just like you feel very claustrophobic the entire time, but like it really works from Krasinski's direction and storytelling. So with this one, to your point too, Moses, that when the trailer came out before the Super Bowl, I was like, oh shit, we're seeing this in broad daylight in a crowded city. People are just getting fucking murked left and right under the subway, under the bus. I was like, oh hell no. So that to me, it was giving me kind of Cloverfield vibes too, with the trailer for this one. So I was like, yeah, I like a lot. And to your point too, Lupita Nyong'o just one of the best actresses of her generation. And she knows how to carry a movie, and she has so much kind of like charm to her too. Is that like you want to see her win, you want to see her kind of just like see her story through. And I feel like pairing her with Joseph Quinn, again, also another up and rising talent. Good on her because I feel like she's an Oscar winner. He's kind of like a new actor coming on the scene. So it's just like to pair him with like someone like her who's just been around for a while, again, Oscar winner. It's a very good move, and again, I hope they kind of explain certain things of like, again, I'm looking forward to seeing like not like the family we saw in the first two. Again, I love the family. I love the Abbotts, whatever. It's like it's a John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, the 3 kids, whatever. But I do like seeing like an anthology kind of series of just like who else is still around, who else still arrived. And again, you're putting them in the busiest city in the entire world, New York City. Shit's gonna go down. So I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to it. And I like that Krasinski was still involved. He wrote and produced this one. He didn't direct this one. So like he's kind of passing down the mantle down. And originally it was supposed to be part 3 of like the same family, but they kind of reworked it into like a spin-off instead, which is kind of smart if you ask me. Kind of like, you want to bring in new characters, bring in new storylines, kind of keep it fresh. So props to him for kind of still being involved, but like not too heavy-handed, like giving someone else a chance to kind of like direct their own story in this universe. So I'm hyped. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I really like the kind of marketing we saw at Harkins the other day of like the subway kind of station with kind of like the screen going up, kind of flickering. It's very creepy. So like I'm looking forward to it for sure. Again, the trailers definitely sold me over. I think I'll probably watch the first trailer and that's it. I want to go in blind as possible. I know the world. I know how scary it is. Sign me up. I'm there. I'm good with any of the trailers. I'll probably skip them because, again, I'm already invested from this story and this kind of universe from the first 2 movies. And they're good movies. So, yeah.
I'm with that.
June 28th. Moses, are you hopping off? You got time for one more? Time for one more?
No, sir. No, sir. I gotta hop off and everything like that. But you know, I'll keep you posted for next week.
Of
But
course.
again, thanks for having me. It's always good to talk, chat, and just talk about movies and talk about things that we love and appreciate and we care about. So I'm always grateful to be on this podcast, to be a part of this whole thing, and to be a part of this journey that we have going on. In this podcast. So it's great to hear from you, Nick. I'm glad everything is going well.
Thank you, sir.
And,
Thank you. You too.
With you, Doug, and but no, I'm kidding. Why would I say that? But no, but yeah, you'll definitely hear me more this month and everything like that. Hear from me more this month in terms of like me being available to hop on a podcast
Cool.
And just keep talking about movies and the things that we love, man, and going from there, man. So
yes,
yeah.
sir. Before you go, where can they find you at home? Social media, website?
Yeah, they can find me at none of their business. Had
that one coming.
Yeah.
You crazy, man. You
I walked
crazy.
into
You
that
crazy.
one. I had that one coming. I definitely walked into that one.
No, they can find me on IG at Moses Lawi _ and they can find my my website there too as well, where I have all my work that I've done previously. And that's where I will be uploading most of the stuff that I've done and everything. So I got a film currently in festivals right now in the festival circuit. So you should find more on that film on my IG too as well. If you want to learn more about the film or what may have you, and yeah, that's pretty much it right now. So until then,
Brother, all right, brother. Good seeing you. Thanks for hopping on the show. Enjoy the Fall Guy, man. Enjoy the movie. You're gonna like it a lot.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Much love, brother.
All right, yeah, we're going, Moses.
You too. Peace.
Always had to see the kids go. Am I right, Nick?
Hell yeah, man. They grow up so fast.
They grow up so fast, man. It's too soon. All right. So also before we move on to the next few movies on the list, I want to give two quick honorable mentions too. We also have M. Night Shyamalan's daughter has her directorial debut with The Watchers coming out June 7th. I'm hearing decent things about it from early reactions. We also have this is television. We also have a movie that I'm really intrigued that we're gonna be going to the screening for next month. It's called The Bike Riders with Tom Hardy. And it's gonna be it's a movie that was supposed to come out last November. Excuse me, because I think then the strikes happen and Disney goes, nah, we don't want to do this movie. We're good. And I was like, well, no, the trailers look really good. So The Bike Riders was hitting June 21st, and we'll be going to the screening of that sometime next month. So look out for a reaction when you and I go. So honorable mention, okay, July 3rd, Despicable Me 4, another animated kids movie, probably make a lot of money. July 5th, honestly, this one. Did you watch X or Pearl yet?
I saw the first X. I haven't seen Pearl, but I saw the trailer for Maxine.
Yeah.
Like that one looks interesting. So now I feel like, okay, well now I gotta watch Pearl and then watch this one.
I watched X when it came on like VO. Excuse me, like VOD or like streaming last year, and I was hyped. I almost saw it when it came out in theaters, and I was like, I'll watch it eventually. And then it kind of just came and went, and I remember watching it, and I was like, I liked how it was filmed. I liked like the aspect ratio. It felt like an actual like slash from like the 70s. My boy Kid Cudi's in it. I appreciate that it was kind of like an original slasher, but it didn't really kind of like land the way I wanted to, unfortunately. And I heard Pearl is very kind of like divisive, like you're gonna love it or hate it. And people who I know who loved X didn't like Pearl, and people who I know who didn't like X liked Pearl. And I was like, huh. Kind of a little flip flop, whatever. And
interesting.
When I saw Civil War, unfortunately, I saw the trailer for Maxine, and I was like, huh. I'm intrigued by it 'cause I like the vibe of like the '80s Hollywood kind of just like John Carpenter kind of like slasher.
Yeah, it
Um,
kind of reminded me of Boogie Nights a little bit.
yes, thank on the nose, brother, on the nose,
Yep.
man. I had the same feeling, very PTA feel, and I was like, oh,
Mm.
okay. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by that one. Don't have any kind of like expectations for the most part, but it's kind of just like see where it might go. So, we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll
Yeah.
see. That's July 5th. July 19th, a movie that we're also going to screening for this summer, Twisters. Twisters,
Ooh.
the somewhat not really sequel to the original.
Yeah, it's
Kind of
like a sequel reboot type,
yeah, something
kind of
like
like continuation. We're just remaking it for now.
yeah, pretty much. Are you excited for that movie at all?
Um, like it looks good. It looks solid. I didn't see the first one,
Same
so I
here.
don't really like it. It looks cool. Um, it looks fun and thrilling. I'll give it that, but I don't have like a hype for it necessarily,
Yeah,
just because like I didn't see its predecessor. But yeah, it looks dope though. Otherwise,
yeah. That'll be on the list for that movie. It comes out in July, so we'll definitely do our reaction at it and review for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, the trailer definitely intrigued me when I saw that Super Bowl. I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. And to your point, I haven't seen the original, but I remember going to the attraction when it was still open at Universal Studios Orlando like years
Hmm.
ago. Like years
Oh
ago, it was
wow.
still open. It wasn't a ride. It was kind of like a you kind of feel the twister, kind of like the aftermath, whatever. It was kind of a cool, like kind of like old school attraction to it.
Okay, nice.
I remember seeing that, but the trailers kind of intrigued me. Like it was like a fun summer movie, honestly. Kind of like the
Yeah,
Fall Guy. Like
exactly.
it knows what it is. It's like a fun summer escape, kind of like I feel like we haven't seen a good disaster movie in a long time. I think the last one that came
Hmm.
out was probably like not good, but like that last disaster movie was probably what Geostorm. I heard that was dog shit.
Oh, where like he was where Gerard Butler was an astronaut.
Is
Was
that
that
it?
it or something?
Was that it? He has so many of those movies. No offense to the man, but like he had
Yeah,
a
because
lot
he,
of.
he did another
He did. Oh my
disaster
god.
movie. Like I think after that, and it's like I guess that's his thing now.
Yeah, you're kind of like Liam Neeson kind of like the kind of shitty action movies now, and now Gerard Butler does like really bad.
Yeah, he's
Like
like I'm not doing any more like action movies, and then it's like yeah, no, that's cap because that's what he kept doing after he said that.
you're still doing them, bro.
Yeah,
um,
poor Liam Neeson.
it's was it Greenland? Is
I
that what you're
think it
thinking of?
was, yeah.
Oh my god! So he had another one after Geostorm. Our Geostorm was like literally dog shit. Um,
Hmm.
I think we saw the trailer for we were in like college and we were like what? We
Yeah,
were like, huh?
I was kind of like yeah, okay, okay,
So yeah, it looks like a fun summer movie. Twister
yeah.
kind of like again disaster kind of just like like oh yeah kind of like crazy kind of movie like that. So yeah, I'm intrigued by it. Again, not like excited for it, but like intrigued to a point that like I'm looking forward to seeing it with you and reviewing it. So yeah,
Yes,
it
indeed.
comes out July 19th. Obviously, we talked about it already. The first topic of the show, Deadpool Wolverine. We're also excited for it. We know what our box office now could hit a bill. I could see it. Um, and that's honestly, bro, that's like the last really big movie of the summer is Deadpool
Hmm.
Wolverine. But we do have three. Sorry, we do have three. Oh, yeah, I guess we have four. We do have three kind of semi big movies. We have
Hmm.
August 9th is Trap, which is the new M Night Shyamalan movie. Have you seen the trailer for this yet?
No, I don't think I have. I saw the Watchers one, but I didn't see Trap.
So it's not a spoiler because this is in the trailer.
Hmm.
It's an original idea from M Night. He hasn't done an original movie since really. I mean, Split. I guess you count Split, but Split was more like a sequel to Unbreakable. So it's like,
Hmm.
but this is an original because Old was based off a graphic novel, and Knock at the Cat was based off a book. So this is kind of like his first original movie. I want to say maybe since The Visit, I believe. Yes, The Visit. So it's been almost 10 years
Okay.
since that. So in the trailers, it was like, look, an original idea from sorry. It's an original new experience from M Night Shyamalan, not a film. He's calling it an experience, and I was like, huh.
Interesting. This fascinates me. This intrigues me.
So basically, the basically so the trailer's kind of like father and daughter kind of this like Taylor Swift kind of concert, like with this big thing, like dad's taking the daughter. Josh Hartnett is in
Oh
this.
wait with I'm sorry with Josh Hartnett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh no, I did see that.
Right, cool.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Well, you're good. So the big reveal was this like, oh, the serial killer is on the loose, whatever, and the reveal of the trailer was like, oh, it's him. And people are kind of like, wait, why would you show that? And even I was kind of like, yeah, why would you show that? But to me, knowing M. Night, I feel like there's more than meets the eye to that reveal. It's like, why would you put a big reveal like that in the trailer, unless you're hiding something even bigger with?
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Because also, like, if I feel like you would need to put that in the trailer, because otherwise it would just be it's a random story of a dad and his daughter at a concert, and there's like a killer there, but it's like, well, you're probably fine because the police are like surrounding. You know what I mean? Like it's like it seems more interesting because now it becomes an escape story. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, now how am I gonna like escape these, these people that are like hunting me down?
Yes.
And like they're literally surrounding the building I'm in. So it's like I feel like that makes it a little bit more interesting. If it didn't have that element, I don't think it would have grabbed me as much.
Yeah.
But I get the other side of it though, for sure.
I'm with you, because I feel like it'd be hard to market the movie with the same footage without revealing, like, hey, by the way, he's the killer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you on that. I'm definitely like, I'm intrigued with the trailer. I'm like, ooh, like let's see where this goes. And I feel like, again, this is an original movie, but we all know M. Night too. It could be either really good or it could be really like, come on, bro, what you doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm intrigued by it. That's August 9th. So I'm intrigued by, M. Night. To me, I like the dude's passion. I love his craft. I love his craft of filmmaking. So I will definitely be seeing that. That's August 9th. Another one coming August 9th, same day, is Borderlands, directed by Eli Roth with Cate Blanchett, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart, and the great Jamie Lee Curtis. So the trailer definitely intrigued me. I'm not gonna lie. Are you intrigued by this movie at all?
I'm intrigued because the cast itself is just what a combination.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially with Eli Roth, like who would have ever thought you would see Kevin Hart and Jack Black and Jamie Lee Curtis and Cate Blanchett in an Eli Roth movie, and it's based off because I think it's a video game, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
well, admittedly I'm not that into games anymore, so like I don't know. I've seen some of the artwork for it, but I don't know anything about the story. So when I saw the trailer, like it was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna like learn about the game, whatever. I think I just thought it was kind of like you seen Book of Eli.
Yes, sir. Yeah, of course. Yep.
I thought it was gonna be a little bit more like that, but like more kind of colorful and vibrant and more like bloody, basically. But so the trailer kind of took me by surprise, and I was like, okay, interesting. It's, like I would check it out. It looks fine, like, but like I think like again, I would probably check it out like with my buddies or something like that. Like maybe if it was on streaming. I don't know necessarily that I would see it in theaters.
We'll definitely be on the press list for that one because it's Lionsgate. So do you want to?
Okay.
So you want to see it?
I'm just playing. I love Borderlands. Hell yeah! I'll edit that part out.
We'll be on the. You're funny. No, we're on the list. I remember Lee sent me like the email about that. Like, oh, come, we're time for the invite for that. So that's August. So we have some time. Obviously, 4 months, 3 months before that comes out. So we'll definitely.
I can't wait.
We'll definitely be seeing that when it comes
out.
Looking
forward to that movie so much.
I kind of hope that it's rated R. I kind of hope. I feel like, it could be like kind of like a more like grittier, kind of bloodier, like Guardians of the Galaxy. It feels like.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
But again, I don't know if it's gonna be PG-13 or R. It wouldn't surprise me if it's either. I kind of hope. I want to see. Kind of Eli Roth has no shame of going hardcore rated R with rated R movies. So yeah, we'll see. We're definitely going to see that at the screening this summer. So yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I like the cast a lot. I think Kevin Hart to me in movies does a great job with an ensemble. Like a Jumanji, Wedding Ringer, stuff like that, or The Rock, obviously. Like when he has someone that like he can play off of or like kind of work with, he's awesome. Stuff like Night School or I'm trying to think things that I'm kind of like, it wasn't as good. Like you wanted him to be like kind of like that guy, but I do think he works really well with a good ensemble and good people. Again, obviously, like him and The Rock have great chemistry. He can play off each other pretty well. So like when he has that kind of person or that kind of team to work off of, he's hilarious. He works even better if you ask me. So I'm intrigued by it. And you'll see Eli Roth. What's definitely interesting to see how that he executes that movie. Again, same with you. I've heard the game. I'm a gamer, but I don't really play that game. So we'll see. And I guess the last two big ones is Alien Romulus. The other day we're at the house talking about talk about that movie the other day. So I know you were kind of interested in that because of the practical thing that the stunt they're gonna do. But are you excited for this movie like overall?
Overall, yeah, I'm a fan of the Alien franchise. I've seen all of them actually. Wow. I, it seems like they're kind of going like back to basics, like because the main character, she seems a little Ripley-esque.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be a good movie. I'm excited for it. It looks like just again like going back to basics. It's a sci-fi, it's a space horror movie, and I like that. But I do wish that Ridley Scott was able to finish like his story, like with the Prometheus and the Alien Covenant prequels, because he introduced some interesting topics or concepts rather, and like I was fascinated with them, but it was kind of like at the same time like the studio was it seemed like there was some conflict going on there because stuff was set up and then not really followed through with, which was kind of like, okay, well, I guess they'll just do it in the next one, but then the next one never came, so it's kind of like, I mean, well, damn. But no, Alien Romulus looks really good. It looks really good. Like, damn, yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I remember seeing Prometheus like a long time ago, and I was kind of like on the fence about it, but I kind of want to revisit it. I thought Covenant was kind of cool. Like, there's some things that I liked about it. Lots of things I kind of like. Yeah, this kind of feels kind of just like to your point earlier about apes.
Yeah.
I was like, what was the point of this one really? Because I feel like you had
I like the darker tone of Covenant though.
I did too, and I kind of like how they used Danny McBride a little bit in it.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Yeah. Of course, Juicy Smollett.
Oh, Juicy Smollett was in that. That's fucking.
Yeah.
He was in that, bro. Oh my gosh, right?
That's crazy, bro.
Was, man. He's a famous French actor, Juicy Smollett.
Yep.
As Chappelle says. You know what? I've only seen the first Alien. I've only seen Prometheus and then Covenant. I haven't seen Aliens by our Lord and Savior James Cameron.
I'd recommend it. It's pretty good.
I heard it's awesome. I heard it's like really good. It's been on my list. I know that the 4K of it just came out on Blu-ray for the first time, so I'm intrigued by it. But I remember liking Prometheus a bit more than Covenant, so I'll probably watch those before we see this one. But let's
watch them together, bro. Let's link up and do it.
We should, man. I really want to watch Aliens a lot, and I think what has me intrigued too, because what worried me a lot was that when Disney bought Fox, it was like, now they own Predator, now they own Apes, now they own Alien. I was just like, oh no, like, you own all these kind of iconic franchise, they're gonna like water them down. Like Alien's gonna be like, oh sorry, like my bad. It's like no, make him brutal as fuck. Like make him like he's an apex predator. Like go crazy. And
go all out with it.
Did you watch Prey by chance on Hulu?
Yeah, I did. That one was really good. I love that one.
So I think I had a bad taste in my mouth from the last Predator movie came out in 2018, where I was just like, oh hell no, like I'm done. Like I never was the biggest like Predator franchise fan. I did like how tight the script was for Prey. I didn't love the movie because I'm not usually on the franchise, but I was really intrigued by it. And remember, so Alien Romulus was supposed to be a Hulu release only. But I think because how well Prey did, I mean, gave Prey even a Blu-ray, which was kind of crazy for like a streaming movie. But I do think that like how well Prey did on Hulu, they were just like, wow, like we could probably make a lot of money on this if it was put in theaters. So I think
that's a good point.
I think two things: it was that, but B, apparently it tested really well. They're like, yo, we have a hit on our hands. Let's see if we can, put this out in theaters, get a bang for our buck with a little bit of a return. And I think also, again, I wasn't a huge fan of the remake of Evil Dead. But I thought it was really interesting what he did with Fede Alvarez did with his vision of the
Mm-hmm.
of like the franchise, whatever. I think he had a bit of a misfire with the girl in the spider's web, whatever. Remember, no one saw that. Like, no one saw that
Oh,
movie.
geez, yeah.
Like,
No,
they
I
were
didn't see
like,
that.
huh? They were like, what? And I think also too it was like you're also doing the impossible, rebooting it again after Fincher did his version with Daniel Craig and
Yeah, because
Rooney
Fincher was
Mara.
amazing in my opinion.
It was good. That's a great movie for a remake
I
too.
loved it, man.
That's a great
Yeah,
movie, great script, great, very David Fincher to a whole new level.
yeah.
So I think it was kind of like a lot of mix of everything. But I'm glad again. Whenever I hear a movie was good, that they put it from theaters to from streaming to theaters is a good sign of like, hey, there's confidence in this movie, and like, hey, people want to see this. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. To your point too, if they can go back to kind of like that aliens kind of vibe, like the first one, like the kind of Ripley kind of like character s driven, I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm there. And to your point too, it's having like a new filmmaker take a part of this franchise too. It's really refreshing, rewarding to see someone kind of like take the mantle from someone else, i.e., Ridley Scott.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though he shot out my fucking beloved Blade Runner 2049, it was
Oh,
okay.
I forgot about that.
Man, shut your ass up, Ridley Scott.
Like I wonder what it would have been like if he would have done Blade Runner 2049. I feel like it would have been good, but you gotta you cannot deny that Denis Villeneuve's film was just, in a word, spectacular.
Chef's kiss.
Hmm.
Chef's kiss. And the last one, a movie that we'll also be seeing, will be on the list for, is the Crow remake. And apparently,
Mm.
the footage at CinemaCon like blew people away. They were like, "Hold up, now." There's still, and I get it. There's still a big backlash of like, "Why are you making this movie after what happened to Brandon Lee?" And again, I those complaints. I'm not a big Crow fan myself, but like, I hear those as someone who's like seen bad remakes and bad reboots of like movies that I've loved. However, I'm definitely intrigued by that kind of just like the different take on it. And again, I think Bill Skarsgård's a good
Hmm.
actor. We'll be seeing it obviously we're on the list for that movie come August. Um,
Can't
but
wait. I'm super excited for
good answer. Are you intrigued by that
it.
movie for the most part?
No, real talk. Honestly, I am like I saw the first Crow and it's really cool. I like it a lot. I like the tone of it. I like the dark atmosphere of it. I it took me kind of a while to get into it though.
Yeah,
Because like I my my initial thought was like some of the acting was a little corny and a little cheesy,
yeah, it
but I
is.
think I was just being a like it is, yeah. But like when I think back about the movie and just like it's like no, like it really was pretty cool. It really was a dope movie. And with the Bill Skarsgård one, I don't really know how to feel about it. It feels really different.
Hmm.
But it still looks like a solid movie. Like it doesn't seem like a bad movie. It's like, okay, that's not really what I guess picture when I think about The Crow. So but it looks cool though. Well, I remember he had like a weird tattoo on his nipple or something. I'm like,
Oh
that's kind of that's
yeah,
throwing me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it looks really good.
they were calling it like, oh, what is this? What is this, David Ayer, Jared Leto Crow? And I was like, damn, it's kind of funny, but like, that's kind of that's interesting. I just what's interesting? I think I sent this on an email a few minutes ago that Lee sent us a PR thing for the podcast,
Oh, okay.
a letter, and I sent it to you right now. That like it was a letter from Bill Skarsgård and the director Rupert Sanders is doing this about like why they're doing it. And if you read it,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely interesting to read because like Bill Skarsgård kind of says in the letter like why I'm doing this basically, and then Rupert Sanders, the director, also says like why he's doing this too. And I think who else wrote in the letter, um, and FKA Twigs who also in it as well. But yeah, you should read that. It's really especially Sanders' note letter like why he's doing it. It's pretty interesting. So
Okay. I'll
um,
definitely check it out.
yeah, I just forwarded it to you from her.
No,
But
thank
yeah,
you, bro.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by it. Again, they moved it back a couple months. I wonder why. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. Either they didn't want to avoid competition with Bad Boys of Ride or
Yeah, it's
Die.
not competing with Bad Boys. It's not competing with Bad Boys, man. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, but now it's coming out at the end of August, which is kind of the dumping ground for summer movies. So I hope it's kind of one of those like kind of sleeper summer hits of like, wow, it's actually pretty good. Again, same thing we talk about with Apes or Bad Boys 4. It can go two ways. It could be either great or bad. It could be either up or down. But I was intrigued by the trailer. I like the sound, like the song they picked a lot, which is the Travis Scott, Post Malone, and Ozzy Osbourne song. Um, Take What You Want, which I like a lot. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by it. So guys, that is our 2024 summer movie preview recap. While if we do a fall 2024 recap when we get closer to the September-ish date, so look out for that. But that's our little coverage of the summer movie season. This summer we have a lot coming out, and I even touched like streaming, whatever. But we'll talk about that down the road on the show this summer when whatever we see, whatever comes out. But we'll look out for our reviews and reactions for that. But speaking,
but hey,
good.
Hey, Doug, my bad. Give me just 1 second, please. I'm sorry. I'll be really, really quick. Just 1 second.
Yeah, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. Oh man, but yeah, no, I think to our audience, I think it's like let us know what are you hyped for. Let us know in the comments, your reviews too. Like, what are you excited for? Like, what did we not cover? Is there a film or a show that coming on streaming that you want us to talk about? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you. So let us know. You can DM us on Instagram. You can DM me personally on Instagram too. Like, we want to hear from you guys. It's gonna be a summer of like a lot of good shows, a lot of good movies. I feel like summer goes by so quick. You're like, what's gonna be the big winners and big kind of like the big conversations this summer? I think Deadpool and Wolverine for sure. Probably Bad Boys for Life as well. Bad Boys not for Life. Bad Boys Ride or Die. And I think I got hope for Twisters. I really do. I hope Twisters is good. It looks like kind of fun like summer, kind of like old school blockbuster. But we'll see. There's a lot of things on the pipeline, and obviously for you, to all my people listening, all of our Richard Linklater's fans, Hitman's coming out on Netflix, and I'm really bummed that that movie's getting a full theatrical release because I've only seen really one Linklater movie two. I thought Days Confused at a movie like re-release years ago, but that and then Hitman's coming out on Netflix, but again it's only coming like a week only, like select theaters in certain cities. So I think it's coming to Scottsdale this summer, or this month maybe. So I'm probably make a trip at the only thing that we have playing to go see, because again, I'm a big to me Linklater. When I saw Days Confused, everybody wants them. Like, it's at the final like why I want to make movies, why I love movies too, and it's just like his movies have so much like just like fun nature to it, whether it's that or Slacker or School of Rock, Bad News Bears remake, stuff like that, and his serious stuff like me and Orson Welles or stuff like Scanner Darkly's, that like he has a really big range of a filmmaker that like it just to me is just like he's one of my heroes, one of my idols, and he's probably my favorite filmmaker of all time. I think about it. I have one of his posters right now looking at it. Everybody wants him in my office, so definitely intrigued for that. And Glenn Powell was so damn charming too, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Hope it's good. I'm hearing great things about it too, so I again hope for the best. Definitely have some high standards, expectations for Hitman, but I know did really well at I think Venice or Cannes. Let me see where Hitman debuted. Let me see. I think it was Venice. I could be wrong. Aha, I was right. The 80th Venice Film Festival, September 2023. That was last year, during both the strikes. So it's going to be interesting to see how that does box office wise for the limited release. But I'm really hoping it's kind of like a word of mouth. I was definitely kind of bummed that Linklater sold it to Netflix. I think his movies are definitely like fun to see in theaters. But we shall see. All right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
We shall see. All right, my friend. So, speaking of summer movies, the main topic for tonight's show, obviously, is a movie that you and I both saw this past Tuesday. The one that's kicking off summer 2024 movie season. It is David Leitch's The Fall Guy, starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, the reboot remake of the 1980s TV series based on the same name, The Fall Guy. If you don't know, The Fall Guy is basically the plot is a down-and-out stuntman must find the missing star of his ex-girlfriend's blockbuster film. Like I said, it's starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, Winston Duke, Stephanie Hsu. Nick, we put our reaction out. It was a very glowing reaction to the movie on Tuesday. This movie's getting really good reviews.
Yes, indeed.
It's tracking decent for the most part. I hope it does really well. Fall Guy, what did you think of David Leitch's new film, The Fall Guy?
Man, I love the movie. The chemistry between everybody was just fantastic. It was really funny. The action was solid as well, and I love that it was kind of a love letter to stunts.
Yeah.
Because the stunts were just, I said this earlier, but like spectacular. Like the stunts were just so incredibly fun to watch, and just like as equally as exciting. And and even the emotional beats hit pretty well for me. But it was funny. There was a couple of surprises. I'll say that, but I'll leave it at that I thought were really fun. Yeah, just like Ryan Gosling, obviously he was really funny in the role. Aaron Taylor Johnson was funny, was hilarious in the role. Like they had me cracking up, and I like that it seemed like it was kind of satirizing the relationship a little bit between like stuntmen and at least pretentious actors.
Yes.
Because the movie kind of, and this isn't a spoiler, but it does kind of point out like, stuntmen have like an almost thankless job because they're the ones that have to do all the dangerous stuff to make someone else look good. So it's but it's a solid movie though, man. Like I loved it. It was a really fun movie. Like I said, I'm about to see it tomorrow, and I'm really, really excited to see it tomorrow with my fiance. And yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing. What would you rate it out of 10?
I would rate it. I would give it a B plus. I think.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah, that I'm looking forward to seeing it on your second viewing if you like it more or if the same. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what your fiance says about the movie too. I think she's gonna like it a lot because it's just a fun time at the movies.
It's a super fun movie.
It's.
Like my face cheeks was hurting so much because I was smiling.
That's what I said in my notes. I was like, the whole time we were just laughing our asses off. The crowd was laughing our asses off, and we're like, again, same thing. I had a smile ear to ear, man, the entire movie when it begins. I was like, okay, this is what it is. Let's go. I had so much fun throughout. It was funny too. I went to a movie last night with Z, and I was talking to her last night. I was like, what you think? She loved it. She loved it too, and I was like, I was talking to her. I was like, I'm so glad. But I was talking to her too. I was like, did you like Argyle too? She said, I did. And I was like, okay, cool, for sure. Because I was just like, I was telling her, like, me and Nick loved Argyle. We didn't know what, like, people, what the kind of, like, disconnect of it was too. And, it was just a really, like, it's a fun movie. It was a really fun movie.
Yeah.
And I was glad because I had the similar kind of vibe of watching Argyle with you this too. I was like, I want to have a fun time. And that's what it was. It was a fun time in the movies. Like you, I love this movie, man. I really did. In our out of theater reaction too, I was saying that like really, it's like it is the perfect summer blockbuster. Like it has everything. It has action, has comedy, has romance, has a little bit of murder mystery to it a little bit as well. And I'm praying this movie does well box office this weekend. I really do. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Nick. Like, seeing the movies that we've seen this year that we both enjoyed a lot, or things that we loved, seeing them not do well just kind of breaks my heart. I'm just like, please see this movie. Because
it's always like, dang, I had a really fun time watching this movie, or like I got something out of it, and then it's just the next day like, oh, this movie bombed, like everyone fucking hates it, and it's like, why though? It's so confusing,
dude. It's just like, I feel like it's happened now a couple times where it's like, the next day it's like, no. And we were like, do we see a different movie? Because I'm just like, huh?
I'm like, are y'all, is it like A/B testing? And we're seeing like just the really, really good version of it?
That's what it feels like. I was like, do we see a whole different movie? And even stuff like Monkey Man that we both thoroughly enjoyed, same thing. No one saw that movie. And I'm just like, do people not want to see like good movies anymore? I'm just like, it baffles my mind. I was like, where y'all at? Like the sound,
Right.
where y'all at though? Where y'all at? So, so I really hope it does well. I think it's supposed to do like 35 to 40 opening weekend, which is pretty decent. Not great, decent for its $120 million budget movie. So has a lot of like room to like make money. So I hope like word of mouth again has strong positive from audiences and critics alike, and I just hope movies like this still succeed in the theater, so we see more of them for years to come. But just a fun movie. I thought about it on the ride home, and talking to you on the ride home too, is that like, to me, I think this might be David Leitch's best movie, but not my favorite, if that makes sense. So
I completely understand.
So like,
what's your favorite though? I gotta ask.
Oh, Bullet Train. I love Bullet Train.
Yo, oh yeah, that one goes.
I love Bullet Train because of like that. To me, was kind of like he was kind of like Tarantino and Guy Ritchie kind of movie, but like got the cast in that to me with Brian Tyler Henry, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brad Pitt, Zazie Beetz, Bad Bunny, Michael Shannon, like. I mean, that the cast in that is unreal. A lot of surprise cameos too. That movie to me was like, again, another big summer blockbuster fun. And the critics of that movie did not like that movie at all. Same like I walked out with it. Same with Hamza. My movie was great. So I checked the reviews the next day. Awful. I was like, what? And I was just like, huh? But I do feel like it's a one rare occasion that like the audience loved that movie, but the critics didn't. Where I was like, cool, I don't feel like alone, where I was just like, people love this movie too. Right. And that movie definitely made money. Probably a decently, modestly budgeted movie. But I love the kind of just like the banter between Brian Tyree Henry and Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brad Pitt, kind of just like letting loose, kind of playing this kind of fun, goofy character. It was just a fun movie. It was just a fun summer movie. And I watched that recently with Zeta like a year or two ago. And it's so much fun. It has a great watchability factor. A lot of funny kind of twists and turns. But with David Leitch, I feel like I'm not trying to compare the two of these movies, but I think that like this movie to me is his best work as a filmmaker, because again, as for our audience listeners, that David Leitch started off as a stuntman first for a lot of Brad Pitt movies, kind of worked his way up in the industry with like some big names. And I'll read off his IMDb in a little bit, but like, I think all the movies he's done prior to this, and even things that he produced too, like John Wick 1, Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde, Bullet Train. This movie to me is kind of like his greatest hits, a culmination of like all his movies that he's kind of directed so far, and incorporates his stuntman background into this movie. So all that he's learned so far as a stuntman filmmaker into this movie, and it shows. Like, this is like his love letter, to your point, of love letter to his stunt community, his stunt family, stunts in general, and his movie making in general. Like, movies kind of like a big love letter to like why we love movies and like the magic of making movies. And his DNA is all over this movie with his action and his stuntman experience. The thing too is that like I really admire him and Chaz Zaleski a lot too, because I feel like both these guys kind of worked their way up to a really competitive industry. They were just like, they're just stunt guys their entire life. Like, they've made a name for themselves. Obviously, Chad did that with John Wick. David, same thing. John Wick, Deadpool, Bullet Train, Atomic Blonde, Hobbs and Shaw. Like, these guys have really, really busted their ass up to like make a name for themselves in like the film industry. So David Leitch, off his IMDb right now, is David Leitch. So as a stuntman, I think he was Ryan's stunt. He was Brad Pitt's stunt double in Fight. Yep, he was in Fight Club. Yep, he was Brad Pitt's stunt double in Fight Club. That was kind of his first big. Oh no, I'm wrong. Do you know what his first big movie was, Nick?
I do not.
The first Wesley Snipes Blade movie.
Oh wow! First off, that's really cool, but I gotta ask, which Oh, okay, interesting. That's what's up. Was it he was the stunt coordinator or a stunt double?
Stunt double.
Okay, stunt double. Okay. Who was he stunt doubling as? It couldn't have been Blade.
It just I hope because we're problematic.
That tripped me up for a second there. That's why I was like, wait.
It also says stunt, so we don't really know what that is. So just stunt. So he did that, and his next big movie was Fight Club, and then his third movie was Big Mama's House.
What?
Yes, sir. Big Mama's
Wow.
House.
I kind of love that for some reason.
That's pretty. You know what? Talk about cinema. You went from Blade to Fight Club to Big Mama's House, man. Cinema.
Cinema. That's for real, bro.
Daily, a lot of kind of low budget films, and then his next big movie was, a lot of like unknown movies. He's a stunt double in Scrubs. Oh, that's right. He was Brad Pitt's stunt double again in the Ocean's movies. So he was.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. And you know what else he did?
What
also
else?
was a stunt double in Daredevil, the Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he had that.
An underrated classic.
I'm definitely underrated for sure. Definitely underrated.
I fucks with that movie. That movie goes.
He did stunts where he met his partner, his stunt partner, which is Chad Zaleski. We all know Chad did. Chad was Keanu stunt double in the Matrix movies.
That is correct. That's true.
David Leitch also did Seabiscuit, SWAT. Oh, Van Helsing. Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. Another underrated classic. Oh my gosh.
Van Helsing. He did Troy.
Listen, I'll go you.
That was the most perfect use of that too, by the way. That was probably the perfect use of that we'll ever have on this podcast. Props to you, my friend. That was perfectly timed. So,
bro. Oh my gosh. Van Helsing. That movie goes, bro. That movie's dope.
Troy. Is it Troy? Oh. Also did the stunt on Constantine. Constantine. Again, he was Brad, stunt double again, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. V for Vendetta.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he was V. He was V stunt double in that movie. So he was the main. So he was the assistant stunt coordinator and stunt double for the main actor for V for Vendetta, which was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Because I was just thinking about that movie 2 days ago.
He 300 was the stunts on that. And
excellent.
Not really a spoiler because it's being in the movie. They show clips from his movies at the beginning of Fall Guy. They show Atomic Blonde, Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, I remember because one of them was Atomic Blonde.
Yep, and Bourne Ultimatum. He was the stunt performer and stunt coordinator for Bourne Ultimatum.
Okay.
Which we also saw at the beginning of Fall Guy.
Yeah.
And now he went into that. He did stunts for Jumper, and this is where it comes.
That's a good one.
Actual coordinator, stunt coordinator now for Speed Racer, The Midnight Meat Train, out of all the movies, The Midnight Meat Train. Unfortunately, he was a coordinator for X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oof.
It was stunts for The Hangover, Ninja Assassin, Tron Legacy. Also In Time, funny enough, In Time and Jumper from that day. The First Mechanic, Bourne Legacy. Oh no, Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters movie fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was kind of middle of the road for me, I think.
That movie was something else. Also a fever dream. And then he gets his first big break as director with Chad Zaleski for the first John Wick in 2014. And then he did stuff like the TMNT live action remake. And then he also worked on films like The Wolverine, and he also worked on he was the second unit AD for Captain America Civil War, and that was the last big thing. Oh, he did TMNT 2 as well, which was awful. The live action remake of that from like 2016, and then obviously he blew up with John Wick, then Atomic Blonde, then Deadpool, then Hobbs and Shaw. So this guy has a pretty good career, man. Him and Zaleski, man, it's really interesting to see kind of just like, like their career take off after, being in stunts, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's good for them. Good for these guys. But anyway, back to the Fall Guy. Watching it reminded me a lot of Tropic Thunder, Galaxy Quest, Three Amigos, and it's a touch of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a little touch.
Okay.
I agree with you, Nick, because I feel like there's some kind of like movie kind of just like, oh, like you're in the real shit kind of like Tropic Thunder kind of thing of just like, oh yeah, like you're actors, but like you're a stunt double, but like this is the real world, man. This is real dangerous people. So like, be careful now.
Yeah.
I agree, man. Ryan Gosling in this is so goddamn charming. He's performance in this. He's so much fun to watch. When he's given a great script, great direction, he lets loose. Nice Guys, Barbie, this Crazy Stupid Love. You know, list goes on and on and on. Listen, he's a great serious actor. Obviously, stuff like Drive. Someone said on Twitter the other day that the fall guy to this person was like kind of the long lost sequel of Drive, which is kind of like they're both stunt drivers.
Wow.
And, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You know,
it's the same cinematic universe, man.
You know, they're
that
both.
That would be kind of dope. That would be kind of interesting.
If they do a little thread of like, oh look, you might be the same guy from Drive. Wink, wink. You never know. I might be like, get the fuck out of here. Harrison Ford. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of my house.
And he's smiling too when he says it. It's the funniest thing. Yeah, man. Ryan Gosling was one of my favorite actors ever. I love this guy. I mean, I feel like he hasn't picked really a bad project before. Stuff like, again, small stuff like The Notebook, stuff like Blade Runner 2049, Nice Guys, Big Short, La La Land, First Man. Now this dude has one of the best kind of resumes in Hollywood. But this movie really is his movie. He's so charming. He's so much fun to watch. He as a comedic actor, his timing is impeccable. Stuff like, again, is just how he kind of makes jokes and how he kind of like, you know, he's playing out very self-deprecating. It just works, and it just works for kind of his kind of humor, his kind of roles he takes. And you know, in our athlete reaction to it, said that, you know, the chemistry between Emily Blunt and Rod Gosling just works. You know, because you definitely see. I feel like an actor like him, he has chemistry with everyone. No matter someone like Rachel McAdams, someone like Russell Crowe in Nice Guys, someone like, you know, Steve Carell in Big Short, or Steve Carell in Crazy Stupid Love as well. Like, it doesn't matter who he's with, he has charisma, he has charm, he has chemistry with everybody. Yep. I think Emily Blunt in the same way, was just like, doesn't matter what movie she's in, she has chemistry. Whether it was Oppenheimer with Cillian Murphy, Edge of Tomorrow, Tom Cruise, Justin Bieber with Matt Damon, just like, you have two actors who have chemistry with anyone, and it makes it work. So to me, this is a match made in heaven for two perfect leading roles with Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling. And the comedy, like you said too, the comedy in this really worked for a PG-13 level. Did.
Oh right? My gosh, bro!
I won't say what. We'll probably do a spoiler conversation with this probably with Moses next week or the week after for sure. But all I say, the one joke that had us cracking up the most, I think, was that Post-it note joke. The Post-it
oh my gosh, yeah, that dude. Oh man, I was busting guts, man.
That joke, and
no, that was, oh my gosh, bro. Like I was hurting, man. Like for real.
That, and also the mythical creature ongoing joke was kind of funny.
That was funny. Yeah, I wish it would have lasted longer.
I did too.
I wish it would have just like kept popping up throughout, but
it just works. It just like how it works is just funny. And again, like I said too, this guy David Leitch knows how to do action. Like I said, he's been a stunt guy for so many years, and he incorporates what he knows in action movies, like really good action too. I feel like, you know, if you ever watch any kind of podcast with Chad Zaleski or David Leitch, these guys want to make good action movies.
Yeah,
we've seen a lot of crappy action movies the past 20 years. These guys are so true to their craft. Again, being from stunt coordinating from these major movies, they've seen it all. So these are the perfect guys to make authentic, really good action movies. And I do think that Dev Patel probably learned a lot from those guys with Monkey Man, some kind of vibe. That's pure adrenaline, really stylized action to the best and highest degree. And like I said, the action of this movie works. All his movies, Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde, Bullet Train, John Wick, he knows how to capture really fucking cool and badass action, and this movie has plenty of it.
This is true.
You know what? It's something that we talked about. It's more of a pro and con as well. Winston Duke in this is awesome. Winston Duke is so much fun to watch. This is perfect casting because, again, his chemistry between him and Ryan is so charming. It's a bromance. It's so much fun to watch. They're having the time of their lives together on screen, whether it's they're doing stuff, you know, on production or kind of like when the shit gets serious in this movie. Like, these two really have authentic bromance chemistry, and it just works. So whoever cast Winston Duke in this role, props to them, because I feel like he was the perfect guy for this role. Like just how how they kind of like talk to each other, how they kind of like they have kind of the big brother kind of vibe, just kind of just like they're brotherly love, but it's just kind of just like they're just friends. But I will say though, I think you and I both agree on this. We could have used a lot more Winston Duke.
Yeah, it was kind of like not like obviously it wasn't a cameo. He was in it for a significant amount of time, but like Doug, to your point, his charisma was just so good. It was like it left me wanting more, wanting to see him more on screen, you know, and because it's also just cool to see him outside of Black Panther, low key.
Right.
Like he's good in those movies, don't get me wrong, but it's like when he's in another stuff, it's like, wow, he's actually really, really good in that. And so, you know, it's really fun to watch him. So it like naturally you just want more scenes with him, you know?
Yeah, because he has so much charm. And
Yeah.
I really do hope that we see more of him in other movies the upcoming years. I feel like he has a lot of charisma, he has a lot of charm, and he has a lot of acting chops too. The guy can act. If you watch Us, like he went from Black Panther to Us, and you see kind of like this guy's range right away.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a good movie, but he did a movie with Mark Wahlberg a couple years ago called Spencer Confidential.
The movie I did not see that one.
It was kind of bland. It was kind of just like this kind of generic kind of Netflix movie. But I thought he was the best part of that movie personally. Like I thought he was the best part of that movie. Also, went to the premiere, but I was in LA, living in LA at the time. He, on like red carpet, he was so nice to everyone, taking pictures, selfies, high five, fist bumps. He was really nice to everyone, and I was like, to me, that kind of warmed my heart. Where just like he wasn't like a movie star kind of just like, Leia, look at me, like no, he was really nice to everyone, taking the time to meet people, high fiving, fist bumps, taking pictures, whatever. So I got a lot of respect for him for just kind of taking his time with the fans, whatever too. But again, that movie wasn't good. But again, to me, he was the best part of that movie, despite kind of just like the flaws, kind of just like generic nature to that movie. So I was so glad to see him in this, because again, like I said, he has so much charisma and he has such good chemistry with Ryan Gosling. Honestly, bro, if they're, hey, Fall Guy 2, just him and just Winston Duke and Ryan Gosling, sign us up. I'm there.
Hell yeah, or just give him his own movie.
True. Yeah, because for his character, he's got like this big stunt coordinator. I would love to learn more about his character, to his background. Like, what was he working on before? What's kind of his like filmography like? Stuff like that. I would have loved to see kind of like his kind of backstory. You know what? Because he was kicking ass in this.
He was
kicking
a surprising amount.
Dude. There's certain fight scenes where I was just like, damn, he's just fucking throwing haymakers and punching people. I said, damn. So like, he really works well in this for himself, but as the movie with chemistry with Ryan Gosling, it's so much fun to watch. It's definitely a bromance. I like we said too, Nick, a lot that like to me, you're right. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's a great actor of his own, I think he's getting better as an actor as well. He's definitely playing kind of like a Tropic Thunder kind of type of like macho, kind of just like making fun of kind of like the action hero kind of guy. Like I do all my own stunts. Look at me, I have a huge ego. Like
I do all my own stunts, but you got a stunt, man.
Exactly. It was kind of like the thing I put in my notes. It was just kind of just like can't share the spotlight. Like this is my show. This is my movie. Like
right, very egotistical.
Very egotistical. So I like what you said too. It's definitely a commentary on that, of just like how certain actors, certain big movie star actors are kind of just like, yeah, like look at me, this is my shit, and it's like, nah, man, sit down, relax, be a team player. I watched the other day when I got home from the screening with you. That I watched the interview with David Leitch at South by Southwest during the premiere, and I like that he said that the goal for this movie was to be as practical as possible with the stunts. And because in the movie,
it definitely showed,
right? Because in the movie, they're using real locations. They're on set in Australia. Like it feels like a real location. Like not a lot of blue screen or green screen. Obviously, yes, certain CGI is used here and there. Obviously, but the explosions, the stuff that you see during the car chases, and the kind of like stuff on the production itself, like during the movie scenes, quote unquote, like it feels like a real stunt team, stunt people, whatever. And I think that being a stuntman himself, that he knew how important it was to like do this on camera, real stunts. And this is like I guess a little bit minor spoiler. There's a joke in the movie about doing everything VFX. And I think that kind of was kind of like, it's very kind of like, art imitates life kind of thing of just like, hey, we're doing this practical as possible. And the joke about like, oh, let's do it in post, we'll do it in VFX, no worries. It's kind of like a nod of like, people don't realize how hard the stunt community works. The stunt actors work for this. Like, it's so important for them to do this, not just CGI, because again, you're taking away their job by doing it VFX. So I think when David Leitch was kind of like, we're doing this movie as practical as possible, he meant that. And in this movie, it shows from stuff with Ryan, Winston, Emily, anyone in this movie, Aaron, like, this movie is also a love letter to practical effects. And I just so appreciated that, like, they knew that this movie had to be done practical as possible, because again, that's what stunts are all about. Practical, in camera, real people, real stunts. I was gonna say
that's a fact. But on that note, my friend, please forgive me. I gotta hop off. Yeah, sorry.
All right. Well, so you get a B plus or B out of 10?
Yeah, B plus. Like it's almost an A.
Okay.
And because I remember you and I were talking about it as we were leaving. Like, it is PG-13, but and I'm not gonna get like too much into this because I don't want to like ruin it. But it's PG-13. Like, it should have been R. It would have benefited if it was rated R.
I agree with that.
Yeah, just that way they could kind of like take some of the jokes just like a little bit further, and not just for like gratuity's sake, but for like just to make them funnier, just to make them like pop a little bit more.
I agree,
because it's like, when it's PG-13, it's like we gotta hold back, and my whole thing is like, don't hold back. Tell the story the way you want to tell it. So that's why I'm like, if it was rated R, like some of the jokes would have hit a little bit harder. No pun intended.
No, I agree. I think I definitely agree with that. But before you go, where can our lovely audience find you at home?
They can find me on YouTube at Dawning Vision, capital D as in Dawning, capital V as in Vision, and on Instagram at Dawning Vision, all lowercase, all one word. You can find me as well anywhere that they have podcasts. And also, you can find me at Ahmad Johnson 98 on Instagram. That's AHMAD Johnson 98. And yeah.
Well, my boy, it's been a pleasure as always. Thanks for
you too, my good sir. Appreciate you.
Thanks for making the movie going experience way more better, man.
Nah, man, you make it so much fun, bro. Because I look forward to it every single week, man. It's like, oh man, like I've been marking off my calendars, bro.
Same here.
I'm for real, man, because it is really like it is really really fun. And I definitely don't take it for granted. Like, it's really fun to see it, like with you especially. Because also it's just a lot of damn good movies, and I love going to the movies, man. So it's like it's fun. So I appreciate you, bro.
Oh man, I appreciate you, my boy. Until next time, my friend. Love you, brother. Hey man, enjoy the Fall Guy again tomorrow. Hope your fiance loves it too. I'm looking forward to what you think on round number 2.
Yes, sir. You already know. There was this line in the speaking of Daredevil in the 03 one. He's like, round 2.
Yes.
Where he was like, after he got blinded, he was walking up to the bullies. It was the kid from The Sopranos, matter of fact.
Oh shit! Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
Yep, that main bully. That's him for The Sopranos.
No kidding.
That's him. That's him.
New every day, Nick.
That's right. they call me. Hey, that guy Nick sure does know a lot about movies sometimes. Johnston.
That is the best nickname I've ever heard in my life. You can't top that ever again.
Heck yeah. but I'm about to hop off, man. Peace and love, man.
All
much
right,
appreciated, bro.
Peace, brother. Love you, brother. Be safe out there.
You too, man. Peace.
Man, sad to see the kids go, but I'll finish up this review solo. Talk about this too. I really did like how, the pace of this movie to me really worked. The pace of this movie just goes above and beyond. It flies by. The moment it begins, the moment it ends, this movie, and I'm a very big pace guy, as you probably know from the other episodes, stuff like that. This movie, to me, has one of the best paces because, again, it's full-on action. The comedies work really well. The romance works really well. The murder mystery works really well. This movie might be one of the best paced movies I've seen all year so far. It's that good. loved to me what really worked. And again, to repeat ourselves again, they talk about how well they blend the action of romance, comedy, drama. I've seen movies try to juggle different genres all in once. Doesn't work. David Leitch, Drew Pearce, the writer, A7 North, David Leitch, and Kelly McCormick's production team of this, they really know how to just go all out and make this movie something special with all the genres they're using, and just a love letter to every single genre that they use in this film. The dog in this is hilarious and it's awesome. My dog also a Kelpie. It's Australian Kelpie in this. My dog also a Kelpie in this. Kelpie in real life. And the whole running joke between the dog and Ryan Gosling is so awesome. And the stunts this dog does is out of this world crazy. I should have known David Leitch and Chad Stahelski have definitely worked with dogs in their other movies before, but it just adds so much fun to this movie. Like, at a point you're like, this is so much fun. They up the ante again, even more fun with the dog. And this is just everything. Everyone works. Everyone brings their A game, from cast to crew to acting to directing to producing. Ever, this movie works because you can tell everyone was in sync with each other and it was one big team. And I love that about it. The music and score in this is a big throwback to 80s action films, heavy rock and roll influence for sure, and definitely gets you kind of upbeat and hype every time you hear the music and score overall. And you know what, too? I really enjoyed the detail about movie props in this. Like, there's a whole bit about movie props and, like, who's going to use whatever, or movie props in the movie that they're making. And that, to me, just, like, I like when movies kind of just, like, acknowledge the props themselves. And, again, very meta, right? Tropic Thunder, very kind of, like, Galaxy Quest kind of esque. And it really just kind of put a smile on my face of, like, hey, this movie's taking its time to really emphasize the importance of movie props. There's a ton of surprises that made our crowd go crazy that are going to be huge crowd pleasers for sure. Stay for the credits. It's not really a spoiler, but like during the first credits, like you see a lot of cool like behind the scenes kind of just like how they did the stunts, like the stunt team, the stunt double, whatever. And to me, I love kind of behind the scenes kind of Hollywood stuff like that. And it's so cool how David Leitch kind of gives everyone their moment for the stunt team to kind of like be recognized during the end credits. So definitely worth staying the end credits. And there's a big kind of mid-credit scene reveal too. Stay for that as well. But it just how they really kind of, this movie is, it's a big one love letter to stunts. Really shows on screen. Even in the credits too. Stay for them. Give the stunt team, give everyone involved a chance to kind of just like be recognized, because they did a great job with this. And again, watching it really reminded me of like why we love movies. And again, this whole movie is one big love letter to the importance of filmmaking and movie making in general. So don't miss the end credit scene. Look at my notes right now too. Even though I love this movie, I will praise the movie all summer. I'll get everyone to see this movie. I'll probably watch it 2 more times too as well. There are a few twists, I'll be honest, that were a bit predictable. I kind of whispered to Nick, I was like, I think so-and-so is this, or that's going to happen. And they were right. And I was like, okay. But again, it didn't bother me too much. But I was just like, I kind of wish that it wasn't like too predictable at times for certain things, where I was just like, it'd be cool if this kind of more like misdirect, or kind of just like, wasn't so obvious. But it was small thing. It wasn't like a huge, like, oh my gosh, what? But just like certain things were kind of just like, I kind of know where this is going. Henning Waddingham, who I really enjoy a lot. I thought she's just so damn good in Ted Lasso. I do think she's good in this. I think she's been overacting at times. Like, from the moment you meet her throughout the entire movie, the way she's like, yes, this, yeah, it's very kind of just like, take it down a notch. And that could be the character that was written for her. But every scene she's in, even serious scenes, she's at a 10, where like Ryan or Emily are going to go 4 out of 5. And she's very just like, look. It's like, bring it down a little bit. Because I feel like it was kind of just like, a little like too just like overdone, or a little too just like, you're kind of playing this kind of just certain character a certain way. We get it. You're just overdoing it a bit. So I think she's a great performer, great actress. Good. I'm glad she was casted in this, but just the way she kind of delivered her lines and when she kind of just like acting in certain scenes was just like, take it down a little bit, tone it down a little bit in certain parts of your performance. I was surprised that they didn't really do much with Stephanie Shu's character, who, again, if you watch Joyride, she has impeccable and great comedic timing. I heard she was in this. Didn't really see her in the marketing, and I thought that I thought they kind of used her character not to the fullest extent of her kind of comedic chops. I felt like she has really cool fight scenes in this, but if you watch her in Joyride, she's hilarious, and she kind of steals the scene. She steals the scene in that steals scenes in that movie, and I was kind of bummed how they utilized her a lot. If there's a sequel, I would love to see her come back for sure, but in terms of just like her character overall and her kind of arc, I wish kind of used her a bit better in this, especially with kind of her scenes with Ryan Gosling, especially. The movie that they're filming in this, you know how they're kind of filming this like kind of like war movie, whatever, or even like kind of like in Galaxy Quest, like the kind of the show itself. The movie that they're making in this didn't look that great, to be honest with you. It reminded me a lot of Entourage, when Entourage had like these kind of like movies that they were filming, or even the movie itself, the movie Entourage itself. It was just like these kind of fake movies didn't really look good. I felt the same way in this, where it was just like the movie that they're making that like Ryan as Colt Stevens is playing the stunt double for, and the movie that Emily Blunt's the director for. It was kind of like Metal Land. I think it was called like Metal Land, something like that. It was definitely a ripoff of Dune or Star Trek: The Guardians of the Galaxy. And there's a funny Dune reference in this that kind of like made the whole crowd laugh and clap. And if you know, you know. But the movie that they're making itself within the movie looked kind of like, really? Like, this is the best movie ever? It looked kind of just like not that all that great. But again, that's more of a nitpick. Speaking of nitpicks, I will say, being in the movie, there's a narration that kind of opens the movie. There was a bit of sound mixing that was like, ooh, where the dialogue just wasn't mixed well with the narration. You couldn't really, it wasn't like mixed well. You're just like, wait, what is he saying? Because just the levels were kind of just uneven. And I was kind of surprised that the narration kind of just goes away after that. Like, there's one quick narration in the movie, and that's it. I was like, was it really needed in the first place? Like, why do we have narration to begin with at all? But again, you kind of try to set the moves, set the tone, and overall open the movie itself. But I had a bit of an issue with the sound mixing in the beginning. The thing with the character's girlfriend, a certain character's girlfriend, that is, I'm sorry, didn't feel needed or add anything to the story. There's an encounter with an actor's girlfriend that kind of just feels like it's for laughs, but just didn't really work. I think for Nick and myself, we were kind of just like, wait, what was that? What was the point of that scene really? Or why was she there in the first place? And you can definitely tell that like, this kind of feels like kind of dragged the story a bit. It was definitely used as a plot device to keep the movie moving forward. Okay, set up like what's gonna happen next. But I just thought overall, just like this was kind of unneeded, kind of like felt like a waste, kind of slowed the movie down. Where I was just like, if it was kind of the scene was kind of taken out, would have made the movie kind of go by a lot quicker. Me personally, I'll end with this. I have said this before. I'll say it again. This movie is why we go to the movies, and why movies like this are so important to the theatrical experience. One, yes, it's big budget. Yes, it's over the top action, but man, we go to the movies for an escape like this. And this movie right here, my friends, is the perfect movie going theatrical escape. It just reminds us why we love movies, the hard work and love that people put to make movies, stunts, cast, crew, catering, security, everybody. Watching this, that feeling I've had all my life of why I love movies, why I love going to the movies, was on full blast, and I truly cannot wait to see this movie again. Movies have been a big part of my life since I was a kid. Seeing the first Back to the Future on VHS with my parents. This movie really just made me feel like a kid again. I was like, this is why I love movies. This is why I love movies. This is why I love going to the movies. This is why I love being part of movies. Why I like reviewing movies, having a podcast about movies. This movie is just really the definition of like how important movies are and the magic of movies and why movies make it feel a certain way, the escape of it all. And I really give my hats off to David Leitch, Universal, Emily Blunt, Ryan Gosling, Winston Duke, Stephanie Shu, Henny Waddingham, everyone, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like, this movie just really it's just a love letter to his movies. And I said that 100 times now, I'll say it again. I can't wait to buy some 4K, revisit this movie. It just, I think will have a huge watchability factor. Again, this is a perfect, fun summer blockbuster, and it's the one we need right now. See this movie with the crowd. See it in IMAX. See it in 40X. See it in Dolby. See it in Cine Capri. See it in 40X. Whatever. See this movie in theaters. I'm telling you, if you wait to watch it at home, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're robbing yourself of a full, fun movie theatrical experience. Go see this. It's a hell of a fun. Honestly, now I think of it, I'll probably watch it again this weekend, opening weekend. As of now, May 2nd, 2023, 24, that was last year. As of now, May 2nd, 2024, this is The Fall Guy. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. We'll see if it changes. I love this movie. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. It's a proud 9 out of 10. I love this movie. Go see The Fall Guy. Go see this movie. It's awesome. I was going to end the show on this. I guess I didn't know that Nick was going to hop off a little earlier too. So, another film coming out this week on streaming, that is Amazon Prime's romantic comedy drama, The Idea of You, based off the best-selling book starring the lovely Anne Hathaway. Sorry, Oscar-winning lovely Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzine. I'm probably butchering his name. Nicholas Galitzine was in Bottoms. He was also in the Amazon show Red, White, and Royal Blue. He was also in what was he was in that I saw it too. I'm trying to think. Bottoms, Red, White, and Blue, Purple Hearts, and also a big movie on Netflix, I've heard. So guy's been around for a long. Definitely. Oh, he's also in the Cinderella remake with from Kay Cannon. So definitely a guy who's been on a lot of streaming services, a lot of streaming movies and shows. The Idea of You, again, based off the popular book. Celine, a 40-year-old single mom, begins an unexpected romance with 24-year-old Hayes Campbell, the lead singer of August Moon, the hottest boy band on the planet. Now, if you've heard my reaction to the movie itself on our YouTube or TikTok or whatever, or Instagram, I didn't know what to expect with this movie, I'll be honest. I went in pretty blind. Didn't watch any of the trailers, didn't watch any of the marketing. And all I really knew that it was heavily inspired by Harry Styles fan fiction. After seeing this movie, I can definitely confirm that this movie is 100% inspired by Harry Styles through and through. Off the bat, I'll say this. Anne Hathaway, I have never understood the hate around her as an actress, from Devil Wears Prada, Princess Diaries, Dark Knight, Interstellar. Come on, let alone Devil Wears Prada, D Wears P, one of the best movies of 2000s, if you ask me. I love that movie so much. She has so much charisma, so much charm. I think she's a great Catwoman. Les Mis, the scene in Les Mis where she's crying and she's singing and her hair cut off, that was Oscar worthy for sure. I know there was a huge upset that year, like, why is she getting an Oscar for that? As a movie fanatic, I thought it was just a beautiful scene, and I thought very, very deserving of an Oscar. It's been stuff like that I don't care for, like, Valentine's Day or Alice in Wonderland remake. You know what she's really good in? It's a very underrated movie. Is the Get Smart movie in 2008 with Steve Carell, The Rock, Alan Arkin. Very underrated comedy, super funny. Watched it recently. It holds up to this day, if you ask me. But she, to me, has so much charisma, so much charm, and just all emotion she shows in her movies is really translates well on screen. This is her movie. She carries the entire movie through and through. Emotional elements, happy moments, sad moments. This is her movie. This is her story. This is her film. She steals every scene, and you watch this movie for her performance and her story and her arc. The biggest problem, though, I have with this movie is that the chemistry between her, Nicholas Galitzine, did not work for me. I was trying to get on board the entire movie. I was like, I don't know, like, maybe it'll work for me a little bit. I think at times it feels like they're in two different movies. Like, I feel like at times she's in one movie, he's in the other, and it was like, okay, like, what movie are you in? Is she in? I thought her dialogue was written better for her than his. I just didn't believe their love story, and the whole movie is based off is their love story. It's their love story. It's their romance. This kind of just like quote unquote forbidden love, kind of just like shot kind of like secret love to a degree. And you're rooting for them for sure. I was trying to root for them, but again, I just didn't believe that they were in a couple. They were romantically involved. I just felt like they were just off, and maybe because it was an actor that I didn't know. Okay, to be fair too, I'm glad they didn't really cast actual Harry Styles or Timothée Chalamet or I don't know someone big like that or Austin Butler. It would have been like I see that person. I definitely didn't know this guy for seeing him in Bottoms. That like okay, I didn't know this actor for sure. I'll give him that, but I just didn't believe their chemistry. To me, it just felt really off. And I did have a problem with like it's very cliche to a degree of like story beats, story arcs, story moments of like the A, B, C structure, or kind of just like side story A, this story, or kind of just like overall three act structure, and it definitely shows in that for sure. Where I was just like, okay, it's gonna happen, it happened. Okay, this might happen, this will happen, that happened. So it was predictable for sure. I kind of knew going in that probably would happen, but it just to me I was like, if you're going to do something kind of like something that's kind of like very just like not edgy but like kind of like unique and interesting, find new ways to kind of reinvent the genre, because I think that will get you a lot more audience. Yeah, I know the book is very popular too. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that it kind of plays it safe when it comes to like certain romantic comedy, romantic rom-com kind of just like elements overall. I did like a lot in this movie. The scenes that were shot at Coachella and at concerts felt like actual concerts and actual Coachella. Like it wasn't like, oh look, we're at some like stage on a sound stage. Like look, it's a concert, whatever, or it's like CGI, whatever. No, it truly felt like an actual concert, actual Coachella. And I assume they did what kind of like Bradley Cooper did for Star Wars Born, was that like they kind of quote unquote hijacked other concerts and kind of performed like on stage. Because again, it's hard to kind of like get a whole bunch of extras in an arena or like a Coachella to do like a fake concert or fake musical, whatever. So I definitely feel like they definitely use an actual concert, actual Coachella set, and hey, we're filming this movie, we're gonna shoot real quick, and then boom, it happens quite more than you think in movies about concerts and movies about music, whatever. So I did appreciate the kind of like authentic feel to the concerts, to the boy band approach, to the Coachella approach, like that a lot. And the score and soundtrack felt really fresh. The score especially, I thought the score was really good, really kind of upbeat, very kind of just like it was happy, but it was kind of sad at times, kind of like a little upbeat, both to the mix of it all. And the costumes in this were designed really beautifully, really elegantly. Like some of his cardigans he was wearing were really kind of designed really well. I thought Anne Hathaway's wardrobe was designed beautifully, like her little like blue blazer she's wearing at the art gallery, and some of her costumes when she's on the road with the band. I was really definitely blown away by just the costumes on it for sure. I feel like it's really hard to kind of just like really design something kind of like fresh, unique. I thought the costumes just were designed just beautifully. But again, the big problem I have with this movie is that it's predictable and the chemistry just did not work for me really at all. The humor, I will say this, the humor worked more than I expected. I'll say that because, when you see like movies like this, like, oh, will the humor work? Will the humor kind of feel flat? The humor definitely is kind of predictable as well. Kind of like, oh, it's been never done that before. But I think Anne Hathaway has great comedic timing too, where it's just like, it just works. And I think kind of her quirkiness or awkwardness too definitely kind of adds to the movie itself. And the humor kind of benefits from that as well. It's just, again, there's certain story beats where you're just like, yeah, I've seen that before. Oh, it's going to happen. The certain character tropes of ex-husbands or characters of family members are just like, okay, I get it. I've seen that before. So to me, I was just like, you're not really adding anything new that I haven't seen before in this. It's on Amazon Prime this weekend. So if you're intrigued, as of now, actually, it's on Prime Video. As of now, so you're intrigued by it, open Amazon Prime. I think it's also in select theaters in certain markets. Who did this is Michael Showalter, and I thought what he did with The Big Sick back in 2017 was, again, talk about kind of reinventing the wheel, making it feel fresh. The Big Sick felt like a fresh take on the rom-com comedy. Also, you got Kumail Nanjiani, who's a established comedian, as a writer, as a performer too. That to me, it was like, it's a rom-com with a twist to it that worked, and I was like, ooh. Before seeing the movie, it's Showalter did this. Oh, great. A fan of his work. But again, I've seen him do better romantic comedy before. It was just like, oh, I wish it was Big Sick. I wish it was like that. And it felt really safe for the most part. So if you're intrigued by, again, if you love Anne Hathaway, you like the book, or you're intrigued kind of like this like boy band meets kind of like older woman kind of story, this is for sure for you. It's on Amazon Prime this weekend. I'm giving this honestly out of 10, probably a 5.5. Like there's parts I like for sure. Obviously, to me the big win of this is definitely Anne Hathaway. I thought she was just tremendous. She's so much fun to watch. Like I said, the hate around her as an actress, I never get. If you watch an article with her recently about like how like at the time she felt really low, and Chris Nolan kind of brought her back and kind of just like the, hey, you got this with Interstellar. It's a really great article if you can find it, or YouTube video. I forget what it was. I think it was an article, but I think she's one of our best actors of our generation personally. So props to Anne Hathaway. So yeah, 5.5 out of 10. I think it was not for me, but I know there's for sure an audience out there, so that's for you. Check it out on Amazon Prime. Alrighty, guys. So that will conclude this kind of unorthodox version of this episode of the Genre of Your Life podcast. I was going to do a kind of review, roundup kind of bonus episode for my review of The Idea of You, but since Nick kind of hopped off, I was like, you know what? I'll end the show with that. So as always, guys, you can find me on Instagram at TheYoungJones or on Twitter, or sorry, X at Capri Sun. You can find the show's socials at Midway Avenue Productions on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Again, please, this summer, we want to hear from you guys. Comment, rate, review the show. Share the word with us, with your fellow podcast fans, movie fans, film lovers, film buffs, family, friends, anyone, your neighbors, gardeners, mailman. We want to hear from you all. Thank you so much for getting us to this, this point of our show so far. We love doing this show. It's so much fun. These boys are my family. I love each and one of them. So I'm to have Moses back on. I mean, too, in college, the main three were me, Moses, and Nick, and our boy Malone, and our friend Julia as well. But like, it felt like kind of old times today on this episode as we began with Moses and Nick. So thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. Go see The Fall Guy. Go watch Idea of You, even though I don't care for Idea of You, but still, go watch. Go support movies in general. Seriously, go see The Fall Guy. You're going to have the time of your life with that movie. It's so much fun. You want to fund the movies? Go see The Fall Guy. Please help this movie do well in box office. It's worth it. It's such a fun ride, but I know I'm rambling now. But thank you all so much. As always, guys, we'll see you at the movies.